a player. He's been solid, of course. He's been growing, so this is definitely going to be an interesting one. Kind of a proving ground on both sides. Proving Neese can hold his own against some of these top players, and then proving Luna's back on top, because he's been struggling a little bit as of late.
Yeah, and then Luna, who is opening up on the Lucian here, I think that we could see more than likely Lucian or Caspian, probably not Teros, but we'll have to see. We haven't watched too much of him in singles, at least I personally haven't, whereas Neese, with what Remy was talking about earlier on, I already know that he's got a lot of momentum behind him and is having a very good weekend. Now let's see how that factors into this game here, as Neese and Luna are going to be going head-to-head for the first time in this 1v1. Neese opening up with a Mordex this time around.
Okay, Luna, I am a little surprised to see him on this Lucian because, like, it got kind of hit with a couple of nerfs, right? The Qatar's got some changes. The down 6 specifically for Lucian got, I think, some of the force taken away from it, but still, Luna seems comfortable with it.
Yeah, the down light recovery not going to be able to take out the top. I mean, that's the down sig not spiking. Nothing on the left, right?
Clearly not enough force reduced.
It definitely doesn't have the Thea signature problem where they don't knock out. Yeah. That's for sure. Luna taking a nice lead here. Neese could come in. I don't even think that recovery would actually do it. And that gravity cancel neutral and a recovery from Luna catches Neese overextending, but that Sarah catches Luna off guard. He let ground pound. Yep. No, wow, that was a good call from you. I didn't see that coming. The Nair covered the down air and the gravity cancel light, so he was just completely safe in that situation.
It's such a good tool when you're coming back up. Just throw out that Nair, give yourself some protection, and of course you're looking for that hit for that chase dodge, especially with like, he had no movement there, but he's got great damage over Neese right now. Neese currently unarmed, but actually kind of scared Luna away there. He double dashed away to that right side wall.
Yeah, nice side air combo coming out from Luna, and the down signature knocks out. I had like a whole bunch of things prepared on how like Lucian on Demon Island is probably not going to be able to knock out very early, but every single time Luna knows exactly how much damage he needs with those signatures to get the KO, even from center stage. I think there was 2 center stage down sig knockouts.
Pretty much. It feels a lot like when Kaya got hit right after BCX. Oh my, oh my, oh my. You didn't need the extra hits, but he wanted them. Taz, a very rare loss for words.
I mean, it was just like, all right, Luna is a very good player, and that was, I guess that's what happens when you don't go to Miami Dome or Fortress of Lions. You don't recover to the other side of the stage. You just stuck. You can see Luna like in post being like, yeah, I guess I just did that. that just happened. Really well played by Luna. Neese had a really strong first stock, and then I think it was, oh yeah, weapon throw, dive kick.
Chase dodge up ground
Chase dodge up ground pound, yeah, because it wasn't like the D-Light ground pound that came right afterwards. That was the only way that he was going to be able to make that work. Okay, so Neese is this the Princess
Bubblegum? The Vrax, the Princess Bubblegum. Sparky out there screaming his mind out, and he's laughing at you specifically for being so anti-Vrax.
Oh yeah, well that 2-stock from last game is going to be a 3-stock this game. So that's what we're about to see right here, right? Sparky is not going to get his way. But you know what? There's talks about Vrax being better. And the reason was that, right? It was that Lance got a little bit of an adjustment.
You got one more frame of stun on the downlight, which at 9 dex gives it a downlight and neutralize.
Yeah, and Vrax is the only one that has access to this, right? So it's like, oh, wow, my really, really great downlight move on Lance is going to make the difference. We'll find out. He's got an even game here so far, and he did hit that downlight once. But the weapon recovery. Yeah, it was like, I guess Neese was banking on. Because when you charge Lance recovery, you fade back underneath the stage a little bit, that maybe you would avoid the weapon throw, but Luna was a little too quick. And then once that recovery is stuffed, your exhausted Lance recovery cannot be charged at all, so he just goes down.
Jockeying for position here, Luna already putting up some extra damage, but Neese catches the movement at the top of the map. Luna kind of nodding his head. He's like, yeah, you got me. I was going high.
Luna was going high, and he chose the most committal option, which was the Qatar's recovery. There's no way to cancel that once you committed to that. And Neese catches him right away. Oh, what's happening? It's happening. I was wrong. Sparky was right. Lance downlight is so broken at the ledge. What was that?
Those like 3 downlights finishing on with the neutral light. That's a lot of damage already.
Is this him again? No, downlight. It's the only move. Okay, it's the wrong downwards move. Downlight comes through again. He's actually able to act so quickly. That's something that I didn't think about. That comes from the benefit of the 9 decks, right? Is that even if it doesn't lead into the true thing that you want to be able to knock out anymore, you have so much time to choose what you want to do afterwards to see that recovery. I haven't seen Neese ever drop that, to be honest. Okay, he takes the lead. Vrax is looking good.
Yeah, Sparky clapping his hands.
Oh, there it is again. No, he does it again.
Oh, what?
It's infinite. It's not actually
the one-man infinite loop.
Down light nair, down light nair. Oh, at 0-2. That's like the best time to do it. There's no way.
Still not enough to KO, though. There's so much horizontal movement in the Lance kit. Avoids the down 6 nair.
Yeah.
Okay, he cleans up the stock, but I think this Vrax is doing a lot better than you were expecting. I can just go say that.
So it's interesting, right? I think I'm correct in saying that down light in neutral as Lance is not super common, right? Like, you don't... So the fact that he's landing this so much onto Luna is a huge surprise to me. Oh my god, he's doing so much damage. That recovery's not going to be hit. Oh,
not quite enough, though.
Yeah, the ceiling is a bit high here on Demon Island.
Downsig might do it for him. He hasn't been
wait,
using too many of those.
Frax Downsig?
Yeah, dude, that whip back actually has a lot of force.
No, please don't. Okay, ball inside there gets it, and Neese actually takes the win on game number 2. I think, Duke, if we're anywhere else other than Demon Island or Brawlhaven, that won't happen as much as it just did to Luna. Luna's also pretty quick to adapt to those things, but I do think half the damage that Neese did that game was from downlight and light.
Downlight into Thing. He did a lot of downlights. And one thing that like really stood out was like, it wasn't just, okay, I have downlight, end light, I'm gonna do downlight, end light. He would like mix it up. He did like 3 downlights, then an end light. He did downlight, side light at the beginning as well. Like he's mixing it up.
And the thing is that I feel like Luna is like wake up trying to go in after the first downlight hits, even when it's not like the true follow-up of the neutral light. And I'm like, you just gotta adapt a little bit to that. That would be like somebody trying to challenge Nick's neutral light NSIG instead of just dodging up, right? Like, just get out of there. Either way, that's neither here nor there. Neese is doing it all on the blaster so far. And Luna finally gets a great combo into a weapon throw. No dodge.
Okay, nice pickup, neutral light immediately, and that was Neese in the air, so Luna got a little bit of extra damage there.
Yeah,
good opportunity. Side sig not gonna KO though.
Yeah, it's a move that's like, congrats for hitting that, but I don't know about that situation. Ooh, Neese slides off actually into the perfect angle for the down air, and the knockback is just strong enough to get Luna the first KO.
Yo, but can you get that extra credit? Can you get that little bit of damage on the Neese?
Oh, D-lights.
Okay.
Yeah, I love the D-light side light. Tries to go for the
jump.
He took a little too much time on that punish there. And Neese goes off stage, gets that recovery. Blasters picked up side air, takes out Luna's stock, and now we're here in an even stock game with Neese only taking a little bit of unarmed for damage. And you know, he got it. The iframes ended, and it was the weirdest bit of hit that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, downlight side light there, recovery. Neese goes all the way up for the recovery.
Sweat beating, he still lands too.
Yeah, but sweat beating while you're on Lance is like so not true because you have like side air and dare to like just rocket around in the sky. Oh, downlight, neutral light. Okay, that's criminal actually. That is something. Vrax is just meta now.
Missed the side light.
I'm so mad.
I'm so
it's
sorry
working
for your
against
loss.
Luna. If it works against Luna, it just works on everyone, right?
We're gonna see so many Vraxes in the rank queues now.
Please, Neese, spare me. Spare me and the rest of everyone playing Brawlhalla.
With downlight, chase dodge into the recovery. Last stock here for Luna in game number 3.
And Luna's kind of shaking his wrist, being like, okay, game 1, I feel like the way that I was perceiving that is like, Luna's like, okay, you got me in that game, and now I'm ready for it. But now it's happening in game number 2, and it's like, okay, it's not actually that easy to play around. Neese is just that solid of a player. And the thing with 9 decks is that, like, we talk about that one thing it unlocks as a true combo, but you get a little bit of that extra actionability on everything else, right? And those kind of things can matter. That's a great recovery, though, from Luna, and he didn't take any damage while equalizing that, so that's huge.
Yeah, that's what, like, talking about that whole 9 decks thing is, like, Neese is getting away with a lot, specifically because he has that 9 decks. Like, he'll whiff attacks, and then Luna's just can't punish in time because that's what Dex does. Like, having that much lowers your recovery frames.
Yeah, and those can matter. Oh, man, Neese is fast. Weapon throw, pick up dare. Luna waits it out. Gets one anti-aerial. Side light, neutral light. Another neutral light goes for the nair recovery. Oh, he gravity canceled neutral lights. That would have been a great recovery follow-up, but that D-light side will put him off stage. We haven't really seen Neese go for any of the signature attacks on the blasters just yet. And he's damaged.
Oh, he's disarmed too. He went for a weapon toss to keep the pressure going, and that KO!
You're kidding me. I mean, yeah, it had to have. If the hit stun ended, you can't jump into the top blast zone. It just had enough force off the nair.
That was just a quick tap Lance recovery at the top of the map on Demon Island.
What is Vrax's stance?
Well,
what does Dex take out of? Because I'm wondering, does it take out surely it can't take out a force. That was so early.
I'm going to say defense. I'm probably wrong.
Yeah, Remy probably knows. He doesn't.
Sparky, Sparky's out in the crowd yelling. He's like, it's speed.
Oh, wow. I mean, you could have fooled me, right? Because he's moving pretty fast.
Oh, it is speed.
It is actually speed. But
We
6
should've
to
listened to
5 is
Sparky.
like the smallest.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
difference.
Like generally, you want to stay like above 5 for like most stats.
Because Frax's force is not that high. I mean, my goodness. That was an early knockout on the top. That had to have been like the...
That was like perfect.
One weapon throw of damage lower, that would not have worked. That was so surprising. Luna's now at match point against Neese. And I said I thought Neese could do it because he was playing really well this weekend, but not like this.
Not with Lord Frax.
He's trying to get the downlight.
Downlight.
Downlight again. Do it.
Okay.
I'm just a fan now.
you're a downlight believer now.
All right,
Switch up so quick.
I mean,
oh snap! The side air.
oh, downlight, endlight
Still
again.
touches.
Dare,
Oh, he
Sair.
didn't touch either. Okay, finally
He did touch,
turns
he got
it
the
around.
exhaustive recovery, and then he steered that around. Okay, they're just exchanging ground pounds now. That's
Nobody hits though.
Oh man. Okay, we stabilize. Pick up recovery. Not going to take
Higher
off the top.
ceiling.
Yeah, but D-light into anything at this point, I think we'll just do it. What are you doing?
Oh, he
Neese?
drops it.
Yeah, that was some interesting platform movement. Nope, no signatures on this weapon.
Yeah, there's none.
Yeah, that was the first thought we saw, and it was a mistake. Downlight recovery, that'll
yeah,
do it.
he's gonna get that one.
So consistent with that. Getting something as powerful as D-light dash jump recovery on blasters as autopilot for Neese is huge, because I've seen lots of very good players drop that on occasion, and he never does, no matter how much damage he has. Oh, the downlight neutral light comes through. Luna, you have to stop falling for it. He puts up the end light to get you to jump into the fire.
Oh, doesn't hit the side air there. Luna can't find a punish on the knees. He's so quick that hijacks again.
I'm losing my mind, dude.
Oh, no.
Well, I don't. Dude,
no.
it's 3 stocks. Why is Luna? He's wake up attacking into everything that Neese is doing, and Neese is just literally standing there holding end light or down light. I don't get it.
It's just this is what happens when you see someone have like this like quote unquote cheese. It's like you want to find the answer, right? You're like you see Luna trying. He's like maybe GC down zig, maybe this, maybe that.
It could be that like every other character that holds lands can't do what Neese is doing on Vrax right now, and Luna can't adapt in time, because this is crazy to me. Like watching how often Neese is like putting out end lights at the edge like he's a blasters player, and then Luna's just jumping into the follow-up attack is blowing my mind. Okay, the recoveries are coming through though. Luna's playing pretty clutch. I mean, he's barely taking any damage on this last stock. It was 3 stocks to 1, and Neese hasn't gotten a hit in a while.
Might have to change up a little bit. The wake up end light still catching Luna. Weapon toss keeping that pressure going. He's getting Neese into the red there.
Oh, throws the guitars away though. Neese starves him of the next weapon. Recovery comes through. Neese Sairs the other way. Down air, side air. That will get him off stage, but that's not like a Lucian signature. The 3-4 there is huge. Dared off the side, gravity cancel D-light, side air, goes for dash jump Sair as well. This might be the moment of no return here for Luna. He opted not to go for the follow-up with the downlight so he could pick up his blasters again. Oh, he doesn't get him though. Dive kick, gravity cancel, D-light, Neese to just play. Okay.
Downlight, Sair, okay. Last opportunity here. Can Luna take this to game number 5? He likely wants those Katars for that damage build-up.
Yeah, that's a good end light to start things off. Neese falls down, but he picks up the last of the downlight start, but that downlight
if he didn't fall off the platform.
Oh, neutral light, the down air. Chase dodges up to avoid. The wake up downlight was so fast from Neese. Downlight, that was an unusual follow-up. I wonder if Neese even meant to do that Sair there.
I think so. He's like, you're deep red. If I read you right, you're gone.
Yeah. That makes sense. But Luna's reading him way more often. The downlight misses though. He doesn't get the side air. Luna goes all the way off stage.
Can he get the Sair?
Downlight,
Neese touches.
Downlight. He doesn't have enough force. Lucian too tanky. But there's the recovery, and Neese pops off for the win, getting the 3-1 over Luna. All those wins are on Princess Bubblegum, on the Vrax. I have never changed my opinion that fast during a set.
It is so
Vrax
quick.
is so broken.
You saw 3 downlights and you're like, oh no.
What has happened? That is not cool. Literally, it's downlight. Oh.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. That.
Dude, imagine that top 4 is Vrax, Thea, and they're just spamming 6.
He didn't use that many SIGs.
I know he didn't. But at this point, downlight
it's a battle of downlights versus a battle of
signature at
SIGs.
this point.
Who wins? We got to see that matchup.
All right, Remy.
But Remy, what you got?
Talk about these highlights.
You could just see it off Luna's face. The replay there. That guy was at a loss for words. And it wasn't just the downlight. We're going to talk about that downlight. We're going to talk about those changes. But it was also with the blasters. We're going to have some clips that show up of him actually just outplaying him in the neutral and taking the better end of these trades with the blasters. Now, like I did mention earlier, Neese has been playing that blaster. I'm actually surprised we even saw him open up on that Mordex. But the Lance, we saw a lot of side airs, a lot of the common Lance stuff. But on the ground, he was able to do something Lord Vax specific. He was able to put out those downlights at a rapid rate, repeating itself over and over and over again. And he would find the end lights after. But sometimes he would also go for that side light. He'd go for that side light, get in there, go for the double side light. And that's just something Vax can do, because even if you miss that side light, your recovery frames are too low to be punished. The end light is true, but the side light will get you more damage. Let's look at these clips here. Starting off, he was on that Mordex, and it looked like Luna was going to do a lot of stuff on Katars here. You can see this read come through. And it was mainly stuff like that from Luna. Side 6 not going to KO. You are on Demon Island, you are Lucian, but the damage disparity is right there for you, white to red. And these Katars, at the opening of this set, I actually thought this is what we were going to be collecting. I thought we were going to be collecting highlight reel clips from Luna, but as soon as that Lord Vax pick came up, it was a completely different game. Now, I want to look at these blasters here because, like I said, we're thinking it's going to be all Lance show, but the downlight recovery on the blasters was nice. He was able to find these siders, find these neutral interactions that look really good from. Now, back onto this Lance gameplay here. You see the sider, the end light. That's what I was talking about. Instead of going for that end light, he goes for a double side light, gets the read on the dodge down, gets the other side light for himself off, ends up with the recovery, and it's just stuff like that. Back to the blasters here. He was able to play both the weapons really, really well, catching out Luna's lack of options in that clip right there. And back to the blasters here. This one was a shock to all of us. The Nair into the recovery, killing off the top. That was extremely early, especially for Lord Vax. And yeah, once again, downlight into the end light. Downlight, he's going to do it again here. Goes for the punish on it, thinks he can find something else new, and he can.
Can we talk about what you think about that? Because in that clip was something that Luna was doing a lot, which was that Neese would do his like end light, D light thing, and then he would wake up Gravity Cancel down stick into his face again and then get hit again. And I'm like, what was Neese doing to make him want to play like that?
So the D sync was different. I think he just wanted to try that to see if it worked.
Okay.
But for the most part, I think Luna's a very stubborn player. Where if you put something in front of him, he's like, okay, I have to beat this my way before I try something completely different, right?
Interesting.
Because 9 times out of 10, if you're against blasters in that position, you're not going to fight the blaster player head on, because we figured out that you can't do that. You're going to go over the blaster's player head. If you're lucky, maybe you'll get a Nair. If you're in deep red, maybe they'll go for the recovery, but you're going to try to avoid that completely. With Lance, it's the same story. You're not going to fight Lord Vax doing end light and down light over and over again on the edge head on. You have to go over it. Sure, you might eat a Lance there, but at least you're back on that stage. We saw how much damage Luna continuously ate over and over again, trying to fight the Lance head on, especially with those low range weapons. Sure, he had blasters, but a lot of the times we saw him with Katars at the edge there, trying to fight his way back on with the raw side air. It's not going to work for you, man. You got to switch it up.
We saw that exact same stuff happen in his matchup against Radish, I think earlier this year, where like Radish kept going off stage doing GC end sig, and Luna would just like go to the corner, try to down sig over the corner, and just try to jump ground pound, jump weapon toss. Like, I think you're hitting the nail on the head there. But up next, it looks like we got Boomie versus Snowy, 2v2 world champion team that split up this year. Now they're going
that's right. They are both reigning world champions for twos, but no longer on the same team for twos since that BCX. I think this is the first time in a while that I've seen Snowy and Boomie make it this far, because this is both on the winner's side. So I think, Remy, both Boomie and Snowy have kind of been a little lackluster in ones overall compared to what they used to be able to do in previous years.
Yeah, we're seeing Snowy ramp up a bit more. At San Diego, he did pull out the same assert, and he was able to take up some names that you would see more in front of him nowadays, right? He was able to beat Radish at that event. He also took out Acno, he tells me, at that event, and he's only been grinding harder and harder coming into this. He felt it very possible he could get top 8, and this Asuri is the pick that he's been practicing. It's the one that we're going to see here. He did have a chance to play against Boomie, but as we know, Boomie hasn't had all that practice. But the Thea is working for him. We're seeing the 6 come out, and people are having a hard time adapting to them. Maybe Snowy has it differently.
What do you think that the average 6 per game for Boomie was?
19.
It was 19. Oh, yeah, you were there with me. Yeah, he was making great use of those. And the accuracy was around 20 to 30%. And what was cool about this match that we're having the highlights from right now is I think that Godly had a similar reaction. Okay, Godly and Luna's reactions to what they just fought were different, but the essence of it was about the same.
It was like this just came into the game, and I have to get ready for it right now, right here.
In the midst of a match, it was just so tense for them.
Now, I know Snowy has had a chance to play against Boomie. When Boomie did have time to play, it was against the likes of Snowy. So maybe Snowy does have an expectation, something different he's going to see here.
Well, and I have the insider information that Boomie and Snowy were the ones testing the stream setup this morning, and it was a lot of Thea Asuri. They were just sparring in the matchup that I am expecting them to play. There might be a Koji from Snowy.
Oh, no shot. No way.
You don't think so?
Caspian, maybe something. I think he'll be on towards the entire time. If I see about Koji, I'll just die laughing.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. They're already having a good time getting ready for this matchup. But Duke, I think it's coming up. What are your thoughts based off of what you've been seeing from these two players this weekend?
It's such a tough match to call just because, like you kind of said, like they're two people who just haven't been hitting those 1v1 highs. Like we're kind of used to seeing like, oh, this guy's been doing better or this guy's been doing worse, or like these two people are both doing really well. But right now we've got two people who haven't been doing as well as of late, but are doing pretty well here today.
Yeah, and I think this is a match, either match for top 12 or a match for top 8
qualifier.
Yeah, top 8 qualifiers.
Top 8 qualifiers across the board.
So the drought ends here for one of them. They are going to get that top 8 spot, and they're definitely fighting for it.
Well, Taza, you're putting the ball in everyone else's court. I want to know from you. Do you think it's going to be Team Snowy or Team Boomie to take the set? Boomie or Snowy?
What's that?
Boomie or Snowy?
Boomie or Snowy? I'm thinking from how... Okay, this is actually a tough one. If it was any other player, I would say that Boomie is playing just because of the way that he is playing is...
Player 1 wins.
I think they're doing button checks. That's what that looks like.
Okay, yeah. We're having a little bit of trouble seeing things on our screen right now, but we're going to get it figured out. But I think when it comes to these two, Boomie, I think it's just going to be very close. I'm going to slightly give the edge to Boomie because I know that Snowy has been complaining about Thea on Twitter. And then Boomie replies
I wonder why
he's
Thea complaining about Thea.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And Snowy's the only one complaining about Thea, and I think it's because they have been sparring.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, even though those complaints are coming through, I think Snowy's the one that's the most prepared for how Boomie is going to play. Like, I think the kind of Thea that we're going to see from Boomie is very different than what we've been seeing against anybody else because it's going to be more of playing the player. So here we go. It's the Thea versus the Asuri, and Boomie's opening up right away with the lands.
All right, nice start there from Boomie, getting a good, I believe that was a 3-piece, right? Like side light, down air into side air. Couldn't quite get that end sig afterwards, but still Snowy not really finding any response damage just yet. There's that down air into the neutral light.
Ooh, and the neutral light comes through. You know, I'm so jarred from the Brax game that I'm expecting to see a lot more
like, where are the down lights?
Yeah, I was like,
what are you doing?
Just a neutral light? Ugh.
Well, fortunately for you, Taza, Boomie and Neese are on opposite sides of the bracket. So they won't run into each other.
I was thinking about that. I was like, oh, we could have that Thea Brax, and that would be quite a show. Side air. Okay. Nice. Gets the strong hit there. For boots, you don't. They have active input, but it just kind of decides how much you steer your own character forward. So
the amount of force on it is different too.
Yeah, and so if you use the active input to go forward with it by just holding in, like holding the direction that you're using it, you'll travel farther as like your character, but your opponent won't get knocked back as far. And so it's smart to not do that when you want to get the knockouts there. And we saw Boomie just do that for that first stock.
Down sync charged up there. Snowy with the soft punish, gets a down air. Better than nothing. Nice side air. Will put Boomie off stage, but man, Boomie's putting out so much damage onto Snowy, and Snowy is really not finding responses.
Oh, and there's the D line, and he just charged. I love the commit. Like once you put out the Thea down sync, you're just kind of like, I guess I'm going to hold this, and then maybe they'll fall into it. The neutral sync dunks him, gets the lance sent out of his hands. The damage was a little bit too high for him there, but Boomie falls with that neutral air, waits for that weapon spawn to come through, tries to go for a surprise recovery. Snowy doesn't get hit by it, and the dive kick in the neutral sync almost works.
Snowy, gets caught by Boomie there with the downlight into the recovery. Still huge advantage to Boomie right now as the NSIG, and that's going to KO as well.
Sends him flying hard left, and he's out of there. It's 3 stocks to 1, and I mean, we might see Snowy up the Asuri pretty soon if Boomie's just holding the down to cover the entire stage there. I mean, you might as well just do it again. Neutral light comes through, and Snowy has yet to show that he can even take a stock off of Boomie here. That recovery's still not going to do it. That's 3 defense Thea.
I'm like, bro, this is 9 speed, low defense, but...
Oh, he almost lived.
He really did. It felt like he was slowing down there, but still 2 stocks left for Boomie.
Okay. Let's see if Snowy can make the miracle 3-stock comeback, because he's going to need it. Weapon throw falls down. Boomie with the boots now. Hits one neutral light, sends him off stage. Goes with a dash forward end light. Those are, it's crazy with its range. Man, that end sig perfectly covers Apocalypse's platform. I think if we were on like Miami Dome, he wouldn't have that range, but the way it works is that it takes out the entire platform instead of just where the last kick is, and that's crazy.
It's a really good tool for Boomie as he charges it up. Gets Snowy. Snowy still manages to touch down. Boomie couldn't catch the landing with that down light.
Down sig tries to go out there, gets the side air, puts him off stage, goes to the weapon throw, hits him straight in the face, and Snowy's just kind of like, okay. Took that game one to figure out how Boomie is playing, but that looked tough for him. Like, that was like, what do I do here? And he's not playing in any way that shows me that he's figured out the answer just yet.
Yeah, it really feels like Snowy knows a punish on that, specifically the Lance down sig, but it's not like, it's not the most punish, and it's like he's still taking a lot of damage from like everything else from Boomie.
Boomie hit a fully charged side sig for no other reason than Snowy landed on it thinking that it was going to release earlier, right? That's one of those things where it's just like, I thought that there would be a little bit more experience in that regard, but Boomie's been doing fantastic with it, and that weapon throw is like a style of weapon throw edge guarding that we talked about when we watched Sandstorm earlier, where you hold the weapon and then you wait for a jump or a dodge and you dash weapon throw forward, get the full momentum, the full force. Really well played from Boomie there in that game one. And I wonder if we'll see the Caspian. What? Okay.
Okay, this is like classic Snowy.
Yeah, and this is his 2's weapon. Snowy's a huge fan of cannon. And so I'm not against him bringing it out here. And when I think about it, right, on paper, this is the hardest counter to defeat in the game.
High force, and you've got weapons that tend to do well. Well, yeah, highest force, and then you have weapons that do well against Lance. There's a lot of potential here for this Amethyst pick.
Like, hypothetically, 4 axe side airs, and that's the stock. Although Boomie just destroyed Snowy, right? You do have to hit attacks for the force versus defense argument to matter. You are looking.
I was just baffled that he lost that first stock so fast.
What's crazy about that down sig maneuver that you can do, it's a really tight timing, but you get it to where like you pivot it, and then the strong hit that travels with your opponent goes off the stage, even though you started on the stage.
Yeah.
It carries you a bit before the force actually starts, and that's why it's so terrifying when somebody has mastered that against the ledge.
Oh man, Snowy is just not finding any hits on the Boomie. Boomie gets in, gets a side sig and the neutral light. Snowy, despite all of the strength that this Amethyst brings to the table, is not finding hits.
He's going to get the edge guard here as well. Sider hits. Snowy has no jumps. He has to dodge back. That downer will do it, and he just falls to the bottom of the stage. It's 3 stocks to 1, and it's even more brutal than the last game, Duke.
Dude, I wish I could get into the mind of Snowy right now, because I got to believe he's just like, okay, well, what other character should I do? Because this game is already over. Neutral light from Snowy, goes for the ground pound there.
Oh man, weapon throw.
Connects.
Can he even get a stock? That's the first side light nair of the game. Second nair connects, and neutral light would do it. Side to come through, he's going to chase out all the way off of that ground pound. That is crazy. Side air hits, recovery hits, stuck recovery. He's only going to dodge. The end sig is a little too low. Boomie is fighting for this 3 stock. That dare sends Boomie flying. Oh my goodness, the down sig misses. Sider sends him off the side of the stage. The end sig hits, is that it?
No charge side sig. There's it. Obliteration is right, man. A 3 stock from Boomie. 504 damage. Snowy has no choice but to laugh through the pain.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all you can do. There's laugh or cry, right?
Yeah.
You choose the one that's more aesthetically pleasing, I guess. Because that's, ooh. Oh, that down tick is at a perfect angle, too. I couldn't believe this edge guard. Boomie's incredible on Thea. And Snowy is looking a little helpless. What does he do?
It's cool from Boomie's side, though, is like, it's not the same Thea that we saw against Godly and Koji, where there was a lot of this like Lance down sig, and I think a lot of people at home probably felt it was really cheesy, but man, this is something different.
Look at that ramp. That is the damage taken by Boomie there. Just never goes back down. And very consistent knockout timings all across the match there from Boomie as he 3-stocks Snowy. We're going into game number 3, and Snowy's back onto the Yasuri, so this is the best bet I think that he has. I mean, we talked a little bit about how Caspian, hypothetically, is a good counter pick for the same reason that Zola is, right? The high damage and then the side sigs being able to knock out even earlier. But as far as it is right now, Boomie's, with Thea, the highest speed legend in the game, with that base 9, is moving so fast that having trouble getting hit in the first place. Right?
I mean, so far, the character who's done the best against Boomie's Thea has been the Wushangs.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Fozy swapped and Godly swapped to Wushang and did slightly better. But I mean, I don't know how much of a Wushang
Spear
Snowy's
does
got.
a really good job. In fact, Spear Neutralite like lingers and is reactable enough.
Oh,
okay, that can
wait.
come through here. Down
Okay,
air again,
one more chance.
And Sig's not going to ride up the side of the wall in the way that he needs to. But I think you're right, and it might be more of that like Spear is just good at stopping a lot of these like warpy moves that's coming through. Like you can end light a Thea side Sig at any point, and it's going to stop her before she gets to the finish line. But Snowy's not exactly known for his spear, right?
No, definitely not.
I'm not going to be seeing that coming out of this anytime soon.
All right, Snowy had a little bit of an edge guard opportunity against Boomie, but ends up kind of backing away. Wanted a weapon in hand. Good spot dodge. Actually avoids that hit from the down sig. He's avoiding a lot of these signatures coming out from Boomie.
Yeah, nice weapon throw, but he pivots the end lane the wrong way. Down sig just gets dodged right back in. Boomie falls right underneath the weapon throw. And Snowy's doing so much better here in this game number 3. It's a completely different Snowy. The down sig comes through, does wipe that stock off the right side of the stage. But Boomie is damaged enough to where I think even a D-Light recovery on Sword would do it, even on Apocalypse. Oh, that's so sick.
He used the N-Sig to get onto the soft platform and then go in. Okay, recovery from Snowy. Last stock here for Boomie. Opportunity for Snowy to get on the board.
Yeah, Snowy doing really well here after that game 2 experimentation. Bringing up the Amethyst. So many attacks coming through there. The end light almost falls into the weapon throw there. Gravity cancels side light, Dare goes the other way, gets the D-Light reset there, and Boomie already looking like he's checked out of this game. But the nice spot dodge gets through the Sword Neutralite from Snowy, gets some more damage and gets hit by the Sair. And now Snowy is like, I think, a string away from being able to have a strong hit and win this game.
Side air thrown out. Snowy just spot dodges through it. Ground pound, no punish. Down sig whiffs, and Snowy's behind it with the side air. Snowy finds the answer to Boomie.
Yeah, and it was a pretty dramatic victory there. And that was just an adjustment in play style, I feel like. Snowy, like, maybe overthought how game 1 went. Tried something in game 2 and he went, why am I doing this? I know that my Asuri is the best choice for Thea. And then with his back against the wall, actually played more calm and collected than I think we've seen him play all sets. And this opening was fantastic for him. Great patience there, right? Not trying to challenge the Lance recovery itself, but to hit the Lance after the recovery was finished with a light dive kick. Great job for that edge guard. And then just a ton of recoveries. I think this last stock, we didn't get to see it, but I think it was like 4 guitar recoveries in a row before he ended up getting for that edge guard and getting that 2 stock. Really well played. Yeah,
solid, clean play coming out from Snowy. Gets him into game number 4, but he's got to win the next 2 if he wants to knock Boomie down into the elimination side of things, and I expect him to stick with the Asuri from here on out.
1, brawl.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we're on Demon Island. It's a little scary here. Boomie, I think this is like, I've always said that Demon Island is like Lance players' best stage because of how it is. It's even better for Thea because she can only knock out horizontally, right? There's nothing that you're doing vertically except, I guess, Boots recovery.
Lance recovery?
I mean, Lance recovery kind of counts, but all of her signatures are aiming for the side of the stage. But Snowy, on the other hand, getting that strong hit, does not get the neutral light right afterwards, but is very close to having a whole stock lead over Boomie again.
Down sig thrown out. Boomie trying to find some more damage, bring this one back in, and he's getting some hits in. Snowy still unarmed here as Boomie does deny. Down sig thrown out. Down light to cover, though.
Yeah, I love when Boomie does that. He does that on the boots as well as, okay, that almost gets him with the dust there, as well as the lance, where he'll put out the down sig, and then he'll pivot neutral light or pivot down light right after where he lands, which somebody's not fast enough to get the punish. And that recovery, despite me saying he's not taking it off the top, Boomie brings it back, and he was at white to red disparity there, bringing it all back. And in fact, this has been only Boomie neutral wins since I talked about Snowy's lead.
Yeah, it started off real nice for Snowy, but then he threw away his weapon and ended up being disarmed for a really long time. Boomie really just taking advantage of the fact that Snowy likes to open with those weapon tosses, but it leaves him vulnerable if he doesn't connect.
Ooh, and that was a great read from Snowy. The side sig, that's a great way. That's hard to react to that,
Boomie
too.
looked physically pained that he got caught by that.
Well, because Snowy was like ready for it, right? The pain there was that the downlight was happening before the side sig even finished. It was a thing where Snowy was kind of like, I know that's what you're going to try to do to close this gap. He is one of the few characters that can do it, and what a great way to finish that off as well. Doesn't get the side light there. I think he needed the dash to be able to get that punish. And Boomie gets a side light dare to get even more damage onto Snowy here as he repositions with that side sig weapon throw, makes Snowy question his recovery, but he does make it back.
Good patience from Snowy there, didn't leak up. You saw Boomie try to catch his head with that down light.
Oh, that down air was pretty sick, but the down air doesn't work out. Snowy travels all the way to the other side of the stage, and that was so close to being a knockout on that Sair. One more of those will definitely do it. Lance Cider will just, I think it will just do it, unless it's from directly center stage. Okay, don't do it, please. Okay. Snowy not fast falling on that landing, getting the nair and the dive kick. Snowy doesn't even give him time to use the full recovery, and Boomie looking like a little disgruntled after that one, right? Snowy's been really mixing up how he edge guards the Lance recoveries.
It's just, again, just solid play coming out from Snowy that I guess it took him a little while for that snow to compact, and suddenly it's just really nice density.
Like for a snowball?
Yeah.
And a snowball
because like fresh snow is really like loose, and then like as more people interact with it, it starts to
depended on
compact
like
down.
what kind of snow it is, because like lake effect snow is never really going to get packable, but like I don't actually know how snow works. I just trust you on that one.
You've been in places. I'm from Texas.
Yeah.
Why would you trust me?
I don't know. I've never thought about snow in that way. Back to the match on Demon Island. It is match point for Snowy, and Boomie has brought this back. Snowy's playing off stage.
Oh, he missed the dare.
He misses the dare. The stop recovery gets the down air again. Boomie's trying to go for the hit, and Snowy just runs for his life. The reason why he's got that there, right, is that if you risk going into a scrap underneath the stage, every successful hit that you get on your opponent refreshes your dodge into a chase dodge, making it that much better for you to recover. So it was just best for Snowy when he knew that he got all of Boomie's options and he could never make it back, to get as far away from him as possible. And that's exactly what he did. And Snowy, with an epic edge guard there after that whipped boots down air, brings it to a match 5.
What a return from Snowy, man. He was looking so defeated. That Zol match on game 2,
it was bad.
It felt like Boomie was just going to close this one out, but Snowy coming in with this Asuri has really brought this one back.
Yeah, he's brought it back in a way that he's had the control that Boomie had in games 1 and 2, and that's way more impactful when you're on games 3 and 4 and as a match point, and you've won the past 2 games. And it's looking like Boomie is losing his mind a little bit there after that solo nair's come through, but he brings him off the side of the stage. Edgeguard could come through here. Side air hits the snow. All right, he is sweating.
Oh!
That was the closest whip I've ever seen on the Lance ground pound. Snowy just stopping his drift entirely and then reversing him to take the lead.
That was such narrow margins. The pixels away from Boomie, getting that stock away from Snowy. He's going to have to put in some more work here to clean this stock up off of Snowy. Goes for the ground pound, but has a little bit of movement before it goes down, so he ends up going back onto the stage there. There's the ground pound. Snowy can't touch.
Can't touch, and Boomie stops his descent before he goes down there to potentially get hit by the guitar recovery. Boomie did take some damage from that blunder from before, but he's equalized things so far, and he's shown that he has the ability to bring Snowy from white to red very quickly. The side 6 are covering the weapon spawn. One of them hits, but that's about it. And now he's trying to catch Snowy going for an aggressive dash jump, maybe a dodge in, by putting up these neutral signatures. And this is the first little bit of really patient neutral game that we've seen between these 2 players so far, as they both realize what's on the line.
They know this is game 5, top side of the bracket, man. Whoever loses this game goes into the elimination side of things. Snowy with the patience, that backdash to avoid the dare.
N6 sends him off stage. He uses that chase dodge to reposition Sair. He's sweating. He has a dodge
Still
to
has
make it back.
movement.
And he goes for the ground pound there, and Snowy delaying the descent once again. The down stick hits, and Snowy's already down a jump. He has to use the recovery and the dodge. Does dodge around the recovery. The down stick does not catch him. That second down stick doesn't catch either. The Sair hits, weapon throw, dodged out of the way. Can he make it back? He can.
Does. He touches. He goes to the corner. He's got the sword. Hits an air. Boomie goes a little too close there.
Oh, the
weapon advantage.
That's
down like Sair.
Okay, side air does it. Snowy now on his winner's bracket stock. Boomie's got 2 stocks left to his name, but if he gets sneezed on, he gets sent flying. He doesn't have a weapon. He doesn't get the boots.
Can he get the extra credit?
Oh,
side air.
Sair only not knocking out because it bounces off the stage, and Snowy's so far off the side of the stage, but he disarms himself. Will Boomie go for a risky side stick here? He's at the spacing, but like Snowy's so ready for it.
He throws away his boots.
Oh, he's just going to
get weapon spawn.
All right. I mean, I don't think you see Boomie use the signature button at all here, right? Like, there's
not until
no
the
way
stock
he
is gone.
it.
Not until the stock is gone. He needs this extra credit. The downlight recovery.
Oh, it's so close. Dealer recovery comes through, and Snowy looking ready to be able to take this reverse 3-0 over Boomie. Boomie waiting for a weapon spawn to come through. They're both unarmed.
Oh, Snowy gets the hit.
He gets the gravity cancel sidelight, and Boomie's off the side of the stage. That sider comes through. He does pick up the boots. And that side level brings Snowy off the side of the stage. Boomie waiting for the wall slip to activate here. Nice job. Gets in. Gets
Oh,
the
got the read!
He goes
Chase
all the way
dodge up. Misses the stair!
He misses everything. Snowy back. Okay, they're both back to stage. I thought Boomie was going to fall there. That edge guard could have been the game. Endlight catches it, and Snowy might go for the wake up the side stick hits. Can Snowy
One
make
more
it
hit.
back? The ground pound could do it, and Boomie doesn't want to risk the edge guard.
Backs away. He's got the damage advantage. Snowy going deep with the dare. Still manages to touch the
He's not
wall
gonna
here.
switch
That's
the
2
weapon here?
exclamation points.
He puts on the sideline, and Snowy gets 2 clean hits. Everything that he gets is huge.
Disarmed.
Stuffed recovery effects, too. Can Snowy make it back? That's it. The ground pound from the lance, and Boomie knocks Snowy down into the elimination bracket and qualifies for that winner's side of top 8. What a run from Boomie here at DreamHack Dallas.
I got to give so much credit to Snowy, though, for bringing that one back. That was almost a Boomie runaway, and then Snowy wins 2 games in a row, and game 5, that was a one-hit game, and Boomie just narrowly finds that one hit. And he missed his ground pound to start that one off right.
That's
like
right.
He whiffed that so bad, but he was still willing to do it in that final moment.
There was a mental battle going in from games 4 to 5 there where I was like, if Boomie keeps reacting this way to how he's riffing on these punishes, that might just be the game. And he collected himself there towards the very end. And Remy, I mean, I was getting ready to talk about how much of a wash that was in the first 2 games, and then Snowy just started destroying him. What was the key moment there that you saw that changed that?
It was the laughter after picking the Zol, I think. after he picked his Zol pick there and saw it get defeated, he just let out a little giggle. He was like, what am I doing? And after that, he was able to bounce back with the guitars. I want to give a lot of credit to Snowy for that comeback there and the patience you saw, because that's actually how you have to play it out. You can't punish these SIGs very easily and effectively, but if you can't get hit by them, then Boomie's not really doing damage to you either, right? So he went for the opportunities he could find. It took a longer game. It took a slower game, but it ended up being a closer one because of it. Now, Boomie, he still let out these signatures when he could find them all the time. And I do have a lot of clips here of signature plays from Boomie. It was really key, even just for building damage, and that's what signatures like these does. We've seen signatures like this in the past from Cassidy, right, where you can just use that end sig as part of your light attack hit to build damage, and we see Boomie doing it to watch weapons on Thea. He hit 2 side sticks in a row, just weapon starving.
Oh, like the weapon spawn on Demon Island that was like center stage,
just in the
and he was just side sticking around. He's like,
he went back for it, side sticked again, and that's free damage. You didn't even pick up the weapon yet, and you're doing free damage on a character that you claim is low tier. Low tier with 9 light attacks, I guess.
It's social media propaganda for sure. That one, because he has taken this character and only this character all the way to winner's side top 8. Yeah, that top 5.
Insane.
Top 5 guaranteed.
Top 5 with a 45th tier legend, according so we are going to get into some little clips here, and I do want to talk about these end SIGs that we saw right there. And this was the opening. We saw that Boomie was able to just throw out SIGs freely, and Snowy would still try to punish them. That's going to be the key difference here, right? We see that there come out, the down SIGs are beautiful. Boomie's doing a really good job of layering this off the wall just ever so slightly to where it's like, okay, you're climbing the wall and I'm still going to hit you with it. And then the edge guards are confirmed. Even though Boomie has not had a chance to play a lot, he's doing an excellent job of getting these confirms because, like I said, Boomie's a land animal. When he gets into that moment, he knows how many jumps and dodges you have left, and he's going to control the space with it. This was the point where Snowy started coming back. You see, he doesn't really go for those punishes anymore. He just kind of lets Boomie have it. And yeah, he gets hit by the end SIG, but it's not the end of the world for him, right? Boomie did play that very amazingly. The nair into the recovery, just pinpoint precision. But here's where Snowy starts getting his footing again. You see, he just lets the SIG go. He doesn't try to get too close to it. Doesn't matter. And then when he has that opportunity, he's just going to play his normal game. Off stage, Snowy was destroying Boomie every single time where he had the upper advantage.
And I like that something that Snowy did that I think is an adaptation that many people have to do as they get used to fighting Thea is that he's like, yeah, just because we've given fastball some forgiveness with the button input does not mean that you should always be fastballing because he's been waiting out a lot of these signatures.
He's just hovering right above it because you've been talking about that horizontal threat coverage of where Thea has to knock you off from the left or the right, but he's just waiting above him. Because the SIGs also go left to right. That's why they hit you left to right. If you're waiting above him, you can't really hit him. So Boomie not going for the end SIG, and that's fine.
Well, that is, of course, 2 people going into our top 8 of things. That's Neese just a moment ago. And, of course, that is now Boomie getting into the top 8 winner side. We're going to take a short little break, but when we come back, of course, we'll bring you more DreamHack Dallas. We'll see y'all in a little bit.
And we're back, and we're going to be going into the lower side here in this elimination bracket where we've got some same region rivalries coming through. We've got an EU versus EU matching up with Acno and Godly. And then in North America, I believe it was Luna and, I'm dropping it.
Radish.
Luna and Radish. That's right. So these are going to be some pretty cool matches because so far we've been having a lot of this cross-region rivalry going through.
This one is a tale that we've been looking at for like the past year and a half almost, right? Because Acno was that GOAT of EU before Godly came in and started giving him the hands, right? Now, Acno has been taking a backseat recently to Godly. We haven't seen him come out to any of these Royales, and you know what you have to do to get here? It's top 3. So he hasn't been doing it in his region. He did get that doubles win at San Diego, but he still took an L when it came to the 1v1 part of it, and now he's fighting here for this top 8 spot. I think he wants it because we saw as yesterday, he didn't get top 8 in twos. So he must want this one's victory, and they're going into it.
Well, we'll see if he can do it. The lifetime score definitely in favor of Godly, but I will point out that one of those wins from Acno was not that long ago. It was 2022 Autumn Championship leading into BCX. He was the one to halt the record wins of Godly.
Yeah, when Godly came onto the scene last year in Winters, he just had a 100% win rate up until Acno was finally able to stop him. So he's one of the few players in this region that can do it. I think Neese has kind of leveled up now into that same space. Although Godly, Neese's runs tend to be stopped by Godly, which is what stops, I think, a lot of people from being able to even predict that Neese is going to make it very far. But in regards to Acno and Godly, I think this viewer vote was a little lopsided.
Oh, wow.
That was 88% to 12.
What?
They're fighting Koji Dittos.
I get Acno on the Koji. Godly, like, to me, this is just pure ego.
To deserve this?
We're blessed.
You're blessed to see the mirror match in exact cosmetic mirror match.
Yeah. This is, again, I think this is ego from Godly, just saying, like, I'm taking your stuff.
You know, it was interesting because after that set with against the Godly, showing quite a bit of humility, actually. Okay, Acno just gets stared off the right side of the stage. They just looked at each other, did the same nod. What is happening?
Dude, this is some EU friendlies is what's happening right now.
Dude, there was but what did he say? He said something about the signatures made me go into like a for fun playstyle thing, but it was absolutely my fault. And then when somebody commented on how the signatures work, he's like, nah, they're totally beatable. I just didn't have the right mindset. And so I'm wondering if that's him either riding with the mindset that he was on when he last fought Boomie, or if this is a different what? I'm loving.
I think he's still in that for fun.
I've never seen this interaction between the player cams before, and it's completely distracting me from the game. I love it. I can't wait. They're just going to look at each other after every stock.
Yeah, every stock. Out, right? Instead of taunting in game, they just look at each other and just laugh.
Your turn. Okay, look at there it is. Godly looking at us like, hey man, I tried to recover, okay?
That's the kind of stuff you can only get in these offline events, though, right? Like, they're not in a Discord call, video chatting and looking at each other.
Right, you know? They don't have the microphones on the headsets to be able to have that team communication that they should not have or ever need. He was actually sweating when he got that nair. That end stick came so close. Oh my goodness. I'm just waiting for the next, okay, Godly. Baiting with one end sig to get the end light.
It is Godly's turn.
It is Godly's turn. But Acno could steal that away from Acno, realizing that, goes off stage and says, here, edgeguard me.
Not done yet. Neither of them looked at each other. They knew he still had a chance, and Acno's going to come back up. Side stick thrown out. Godly misses the down heavy.
Bold, though, to slide charge that one off the side of the stage when it's your turn to take the stock. D-Light Cider, they'll get it. I don't think that one deserved a head nod.
Yeah, no, Acno kind of like looked to the side a little bit, but Godly's like, no,
his neck and he's kind of like, really? Is that how you knock me out? Okay, fine. D-Light end light. Got the super stacked end light too. Gravity cancel down, so that's going to be punished, but I would have liked to see a little bit more patience there on that punish there on Acno. Double nair though, and Godly's starting to bring this back.
Good dodge away from Godly. Ooh, missing the tatami mat. Nice jump nair coming out from Acno and the end light, and they're back to smiles and nods from Godly and Acno.
It may have been like a gentleman's to be like, okay, Koji Ditto, game one, and then he's going to go to Mordex or something.
Is that the equivalent of like a knife round? Like knives only?
You're talking about CS?
Well, like CS or Valorant, or
yeah.
like,
it might be.
Knives only, knives only, okay.
That might be because I feel like in Brawlhalla, that's actually like one of the few games because it's on average you have a larger legend roster. One of the few games where that can actually happen.
3, 2,
no,
1,
actually, it's just a
with
Koji
it.
did it the entire way through. We're back to Demon Island. Here we go. Game number 2 with the lead in favor of Acno after that game 1.
Good sidekick pick from Godly, though. Shoutouts to Terry. All right, Godly coming down in. You know, at the it's all fun. Oh, okay. Wait, can he come back? Okay, he's good. I was gonna say, like, it's all fun and games. Sure, they can nod and laugh after each stock, but also, like, this is elimination side of the bracket.
Yeah.
Like, you can only nod so often before you're done.
Could have fooled me. I have no. This is so surreal. What is okay? Focusing back on the match. Godly
This
with the
isn't
lead
even a
this time.
qualifier for top 8. Like,
No, yeah, it's a top 16. That's exactly right. And I wonder if it's a situation here where also in Godly's case, right, like if he goes down 2-0 to Acno's Koji, that he feels like if he just switches to another legend, he can do it again. But at this point, I'm kind of like, I don't think that's actually the case. He whips the signature and he looks at, oh man, they're just having too much. Okay, all right, down air comes through. Let's see what Acno's able to do here, because at this rate, Godly's kind of taking the lead here. Okay, down
Still
sig.
touched?
That's how you know they're fronting it. The only player that I've ever seen use Koji down sig on ironically is Remy.
why is he catching shade when he's right next to you?
Actually, I forgot. It's okay, Remy.
Second stocks here, Acno. Maybe getting a little bit more serious. Yeah, they're not as cheeky with their smiles now.
Yeah, that NC comes through. Now that's a pretty rough lead here from Acno, who is up a game, but would like to have the security of a 2-0 lead in a best of 5. The dares and neutral air, side lights, everything's coming through here. Godly's getting deeper into the yellow, but he's okay, Acno. That was quite the deep dive there for that down air.
Can't keep the edge guard going. Godly got above that side air.
Oh, falls in the air. Could get another one on landing there. He's been really trying to snipe those landings with the N6.
It's punish. Why did he watch? Like, you could have just stood there charging to Tommy Matt. Like,
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. He's still got a good charging on that side
for
sig.
sure.
But yeah. I think the side sig was the best punish. I don't think that Tatami Matt would have.
Yeah, Tommy Matt wouldn't have KO'd, but
Yeah.
like,
I don't actually know in that situation what would have been the most damage. That's actually kind of a tough call. I don't know.
I think you could have gotten a longer charge on
You're
the Tatami
rarely in a
Matt.
situation where you get to watch a full charge like that.
Yeah.
And just at your opponent's back. It's just that's a tough one. D-Light Recovery could do it here. D-Light Cider could do it as well. But would that be deserving? Yeah, okay. He thinks so.
Just a head nod, though.
Yeah, just a head nod.
Just a head nod.
It was a very, very deep smirk, right, after the head nod, too.
I'm just saying, the smiles are fading a little bit. Set by set, they're by the end of it, they're just gonna be grouchy boys.
You think so?
Probably not.
Yeah. I don't know. Like Godly was still having a pretty good time even after that Game 5 loss to Boomie. So I think he's just in it.
The real question is who's gonna
2,
swap.
1,
No, neither of them. Not anymore. They
Yeah,
can't,
you're
they can't
kind of
allow
like
that.
forced to commit. If you swap,
right.
then that like you're a
It
punk.
would be Godly because this is actually a character that Acno wins with all the time, and Godly is just kind of playing Koji.
Yeah.
So
Very
it
well, though.
It would have to be Godly, I think. He's playing it quite well. Let's see how this goes as we're on game number 3 here. Falling down air connects. And he switches back over to the bow. Gets that weapon throw like to connect a little delayed, but Acno manages to make it back with that gravity cancel down light and then there. It's a good amount of damage. We've got a bow mirror match going on right now.
His side airs from Godly help get him back. Damage trades is pretty even so far.
Yeah, recovery after waiting out that side sig was smart. Acno's so good with those neutral light and nair landing coverages. Godly's been going for some more committal ones when he goes for the end sig. But yeah, it's been mostly all Acno here on these landings. But now the first stock could go to whatever. Okay, lands right on the down stick, and that's where you're. No, never mind.
Oh,
Okay.
see?
I thought
See,
it was
Acno's
over.
locked in.
No, this is, like Godly delayed, turned his head and smiled, and then it was like Acno just didn't even look at him, and that could be the last.
saying. It's getting serious.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that deserves one. That deserves. You gotta smile. You gotta smile.
Godly was kind of like, hold on, I gotta remind him what we're doing here. That fully charged end sig on landing. That's one way to make your opponent go, haha, you got me. Falling there though from Godly.
He's sweat beaten.
Yeah.
Oh, still got past him though. Edge guard opportunity.
Ooh, nice dodge off the Sair. Cancels it into a sidelight too. When you spot dodge an attack in air, you have a window where you can gravity cancel. So if you're really good at it, you can dodge the attack and then still use that dodge as a resource to get an attack afterwards. And that's what we just saw Acno do there to a really great advantage.
It's a lot harder to do against like an actual attack. Like you'll see a lot of people do it when a weapon toss down happens, right? Like they'll spot dodge through the weapon toss and then gravity cancel.
Yeah, in order for that to work against the Sarah, it almost had to be like only the second swing.
Yeah, it's way harder to do it against just a regular attack.
But here we are, Godly with the lead once again. And as we're getting further into the match, I'm starting to feel like they're more like, okay, this is actually elimination bracket, and if I lose this, it is match point. And this is actually very tough, right? I don't think this matchup is being nearly as free for either player as they thought it would be.
So this is how they're like, I didn't want to play a best of 5, let's play a best of 3.
Do you think that's what's gonna happen? They just get up.
Like, all right, we're good. Downlight, end light comes out. Okay, Acno cleans up the stock. We're going to final stocks here. And like I said, they're not looking over and smiling.
Godly has a little bit, but Acnos, he is dialed in for sure. Falling down here into end light there. And it's just a matter of like taking the perspective of what's at stake here, especially at Dallas. Because we know that, I mean, Godly, he's got the top 4 on double side, but as Remy talked about earlier, Acno and Blaze were out at 5th.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be there on Championship Sunday in 2. So Acno's got one last bracket in which he could do it. And he's got Godly in the way. And now their last stock, deep damage here. Acno in red though, Godly's still in orange. And Godly's on the verge of bringing us to match point.
Nair again. Ooh, doesn't get the end sig that he wanted though. Godly ended up going to the outside.
Ooh, hits the weapon out of his hands. Down to the wrong
side.
way. That's huge. That could have been the edge guard in the game. I don't think it would have had enough force, but it still would have been a massive amount of damage. Weapon throw stops that down. Godly sends him in the air. Oh, a little bit of a blunder there with that recovery.
Wait. Another one of those. Godly might get this one. Acno going real far to the outside. Ensig misses.
They exchange weapon throws. Can Acno make it back? He gets dive kicks. He doesn't have to jump, and he fast falls off the side of the stage. That dare was all he needed. 602 damage for Godly there to bring it to match point.
Acno likely going to be sticking with the Koji.
Yeah.
I think if the roles were reversed and Godly was down 2 games, that he would switch.
I agree with you. But now it's at a point where it's like, what is Acno's other one's legends? I don't think he's going to
like, does he go to the Kaya?
The weird thing about this tournament today, which is making me go like, huh, Godly he's playing quite wild compared to what I'm used to, is that he did actually start some sets with the Kaya. He's talked about playing Kaya before.
Dude, he's mixed up a lot of his picks today.
Yeah, it's been really wild for me to track how he's been playing. Because I know that like at the Royale, he said there's a chance that he might bring up the Kaya, and then before the Royale, he was just kind of like, I hate this Kaya legend.
Yeah.
Stop letting me fight it. So it's like he's really been in flux in terms of what he's been playing and what his attitude towards competing has been like. And so I'm curious what he's going to do if this goes to a Game 5 scenario. But I think you're absolutely right. Koji all the way through here. It's just a matter of whether or not Acno does it as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's ego on the line now. If you switch, then the rest of the EE region is going to clown you for being the guy who
switched off Koji.
Yeah, who lost the game of chicken, the Koji chicken.
Is that what this is?
Yeah. Oh no, they both did it. They gentlemen's to Kaya.
I wonder if that was a gentleman's thing or if it actually is just Godly being like whatever character that you pick, I want to pick it. I think the way that it works though is that the winner.
Winner has to lock in first.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I think so. But either way, they're going into this agreeing to this. So now it's somebody switched to Kaya, and then the other person matched it, right? And these are now technically both characters that they can play. Although in both cases, my idea is that Acno is the better of these two characters because of how long he's been playing them. Like Acno was doing Koji first, he was playing Kaya first. And so Godly matching them in these mirror matchups just becomes a pure skill matchup between the two players of who can play the mirror match better.
Right now, it looks like Godly's got that a little bit more skill because he's up 2-1.
I would give this favor to Acno still, despite this. It's 2-1 with the Kojis, right? But now we're on the Kayas. I'm thinking this might be going to a game number 5 here. Let's find out. That side sig misses. Acno down 6 off the side of the stage to avoid a great spot dodge.
Acno has had some fantastic reaction spot dodges so far. Down sig connects. Acno's going to get launched on that one.
Yeah, Kaya's got too high of a defense to go down.
Oh, he didn't touch. Dude, Godly was shaking his head the second he didn't touch.
It's kind of a little embarrassing because it's the Acno recovery, right? Like popularized by him at BCA. Okay, that's.
They're straight up bantering with each other. He turned and held up his controller and was like, dude, I was mashing dodge.
I didn't know it was on cooldown. 3 seconds is a long time, okay? My goodness. Yeah, it's even stocks now. But it is match point. Like, the pressure there for Acno is quite high.
Oh, for sure. There's a real possibility of Godly taking out Acno here and finishing out the set.
Absolutely. Acno dashing forward and backwards there, getting hit by that downlight neutral light recovery. That is just the bread and butter of the bow. Acno could have done the same, but he doesn't follow up with the recovery himself. Damage relatively even, now even after that dare connects, and that narrow sent Godly into a situation where he has to land, and it's just going back and forth here. No read after that side light, just gets a recovery.
Neutral light coming out from Acno, both of them. Second stock's red.
Oh, side light doesn't get the pivot downlight afterwards. Godly just goes up for a straight downlight side air. After that side light, has him off the side of the stage. Recovery catches him dodging in. Second recovery takes him off the top. And Acno, with the shake of his head and adjusting those glasses, knows that he is now not only at match point, but on his potential last stock of the bracket. Here is Godly.
His tournament stock.
Yeah.
Doesn't get the GCN light though. Godly comes back down. Acno, I saw the stars come out. Was that a wake-up recovery? Down sig will connect. Final stocks here.
Oh, and the down sig at the side of the stage does make it dead even. Let's see, can Acno bring it to a game 5? Oh, both players on stage. Oh, Acno's just done for.
He sweat beads, and that's it. Godly takes it. 3-1 over Acno.
Yeah. Probably one of the most lighthearted sets I've ever casted this far into the bracket.
Surprisingly relaxed for the situation they were in.
Yeah, Godly taking that one 3-1, doing mirror matches the entire way. If you look at the PR numbers, the results of that matchup tend to be pretty fair, but that was as much banter as I've ever seen in on a stage match that I think I'll ever see.
Especially like, they're not next to each other, right? Like, there's a vast area of space between the two of them.
Yeah,
but
they're still nothing in the way. They're nothing in the way, right? So they look over there, they can still make eye contact. That's what matters. That was a set.
Yes, it was. It was a set.
Agreed, Remy? Oh, wait. I don't think we got you. Wait.
Can we agree with Remy?
After he lost to Boomie, Godly looked at me and said, you know what, I'm not having enough fun this event. I'm going to have a blast the rest of the tournament. I guess this was what he was talking about with the mirroring on Acno the entire time. You guys were talking about it. Who was going to switch first? I'm 100% sure Acno swapped, and then Godly was like, go back. And then he picked the same thing. But yeah, looking at the gameplay though, Acno just kind of played the characters better for the most part.
You mean Acno or Godly?
Yeah, sorry. Godly just kind of played the characters better for the most part. There's some clips I have here of just some neutral interactions and edge guards where it looked like just Godly knew what he was doing on the characters better. Even though these are Acno's standard characters, right? Godly isn't known for the sword bow gameplay, right? He's known for the sword on Asuri, but he's out here on Acno's own Koji, showing him the ropes on it. So it's going to be really interesting when we get these clips up here. But for the most part, it was just kind of, Godly playing it better, having the better edge guards, the better stage use of the SIGs too, which is especially surprising because, like I said, these are Acno's characters. How are you letting him use the SIGs better than you?
Dude, better player, bigger number, right? 3-1 in favor of Godly.
All right, well, we have this clip right here of this edge guard, and it was set up so well from Godly. He went forward, and it forced Acno to use options. You're going to see it here again, the same exact setup, except this time, when he goes for downer, it actually gets punished. The first time, it was more of a feint stare. If you don't dodge, you're going to get hit by it, and if you do dodge, you're going to not have options to make it back to the map. He played it almost perfectly here. Another setup here from Acno, though, trying to get this read, and it doesn't actually go through from him, and Godly reads the dodge punish on the ground, the spot dodge, and gets the sound. This is what I'm talking about. These aren't like big plays. These aren't like very surprising interactions where you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. It's just kind of better neutral, better punishes on that dodge into stage, and then knows to continue it up, because now you have no dodge. You have to go towards the ground, right? I'm going to keep punishing you for it, and that's what Godly was doing better. He didn't hit any crazy string. He didn't have Acno completely figured out. These weren't 3-stock games, but the neutral was there for Godly, and he played it better.
Yeah, that's a great point on that edge guard there, where I did note the dodge in while he was sweating where the recovery caught him despite line of sight. What I didn't think about was that he never got anything back, and that's why that second recovery was so good while covering the landing and why he could put it off the rip. And that's just
there's only one direction you can go. You can try to go left and right, but you really are just moving down at a fast speed, so I'm just going to go under you.
I think spear recovery is the best stat, just covering raw drift from the legend.
Definitely.
So very well played. What matchup do we got coming up next, dude?
Well, we already saw their faces on the screen. It was Luna versus Radish, elimination side trying to get into the top 8. Both of these players have made top 8s of many a tournament, but only one can make top 8 here at DreamHack Dallas.
Yeah, and Luna versus Radish. I mean, this was the Winter Royale final, where I believe Luna triple eliminated Radish in that entire bracket. I
guess, counting round robin?
Yeah, counting round robin. And that was the case where I think we've had 2 triple eliminations actually in both of those Royales. In Europe, it was Hughes triple eliminating Godly.
Yeah.
And in this case, it was Luna versus Radish. So this is absolutely Radish's demon. I don't really consider, at least in an official Brawlhalla tournament, Luna ever losing to Radish. And Radish, I think, to my knowledge, has stuck with the Petra and stuck on being an orb main for this entire season.
Yeah, for the most part, Radish he talked about that Tesca when it came out. He tried it out. He said he didn't like it like he thought he would, and he went back to the Petra. He's been playing Petra since every single time we saw him, but every time we saw him against Luna, it was a loss like you guys mentioned. Now, I think we should be looking for a game plan from Luna or Radish here on specifics. They are looking at it pretty evenly matched stat-wise. Yeah, Petra has that low defense, but Lucian has that low force. Lucian has that high defense, but Petra has that high force to match. So you're going to try to see them KOing at equal time just because of the stat disparity. I think Luna wants to go for a wider kill radius on these maps, kind of like maybe a Fortress Alliance pick, right? That way you can kind of get these signatures off of Luna. Luna is going to be looking for those off-stage KOs, using the guitars to his advantage, right? Because on stage, they're both going to be knocking each other out so late.
So you say guitars, do you think that means Luna's leading with the Lucian going into the set?
I think Luna is definitely going to be opening up with the Lucian. We're not going to see a Petra swap at all. I think now that we are in the loser's bracket, he's going to open with his Lucian. And if it is a deficit for him, maybe that's unlikely, we are going to see a swap. So.
Okay, well, we'll see if anyone decides to make any swaps as we get into it. Of course, again, another best-of-5 elimination side to see who's going to make it into the top 8. Will it be Luna? Will it be Radish? They're getting ready to hop right on into it.
Yeah, and here we go. Excited to see how this matchup plays out. I think you said this was a match for top 8 on elimination side, so the tensions are quite high here. There's the Lucian coming out from Luna Run Apocalypse here against Radish, who will be on Petra the entire way through. And really, I think Radish is the only orb main in every single region.
Pretty much.
I can remember looking at the Royale stats in the past, and there was like one orb player, 100% win rate. It was because Radish run that seasonal, right? And it's been the case for quite a long time. We've seen people try Reno, but they were mainly there for the blasters and not really for that weapon. And Luna is so experienced in fighting against it. But opening up here in game number 1, it's Radish on the gauntlets here with the Petra. And he's already hitting a ton of recoveries as Luna's having trouble getting back to the ground.
Good side air coming out from Radish. It's so funny because, like, that clash out! And Luna converts it to a KO. He's got his pick of weapons. Likely will be sticking with the Katars.
Yeah, would have been interesting to see how Radish reacted to that one there as Luna got that clash, because that felt like all Radish there on that edge guard until that very last hit. And now Luna up 3 stocks to 2, gets hit by a Sarah, and that's just enough force to be able to make that happen. Evens that up 2-2. And that's got to be a little tense, because I feel like even though Luna got the reversal there on that edge guard, it was lucky. Like, it was one of those cases where it was like, okay, he did the right thing, it worked out in the right way, but Radish still has the momentum behind his play style right now.
Yeah, you can't rely on Radish dipping that low and you getting that single hit and having it end up trade out in your favor. Now it's got to be that consistency. He's got those blasters in hand. Nice ground pound for that damage there, too.
He let it release early instead of having it like auto-connect, so that he got the blast for it to be able to hit even though it didn't look like it was going to. Really well played. Nice snare in the recovery. Going to Sweat to be able to get it to connect. Falling sideline. Side air disarms Luna. Switches over to the fresh orb. Stares him off the stage again. Can Luna make it back? The down airs from Radish here against the wall. I can't believe that didn't hit.
Luna able to dodge through. He did get the wall touch, but he's had no weapon. He's been taking damage. There's the weapon spawn, picks up the Katars, but he needs to get more damage on the Radish here.
No way. Gravity
enough.
cancel, neutral light recovery. Was so close to being able to knock out on its own. No dodge means Radish can get that falling Sarah, and that's just enough force to knock him out. And Luna shaking his wrists, getting ready to be on this last stock here. But Radish opening up with a game 1 win would be huge for him here.
Definitely a little bit of favoritism towards Luna on my part, but also I think like the stats kind of give it to Luna. We were talking about how he tends to be the one to take down Radish.
Yeah, this would just be, for me, a really exciting win to see Radish get, because how often Radish has brought Luna to game 5 and then dropped it all in the very last game for Luna to take the victory. They have certainly been long-standing rivals in North America when it comes to winners finals and community tournaments and official tournaments alike. And Radish dashing forward with that down light. Oh, gets hit by the recovery from Luna.
Yeah, he was waiting for the opportunity. You really saw Radish just kind of diving around, trying to avoid that recovery from Luna. Luna just very patient, very smart with it. Radish now over to the gauntlets. Offstage opportunity for Luna. He's got him on the corner here.
Yeah, nice nair, gets the backswing of it. Falls to that downer, doesn't fall through the platform, so Luna gets a punish with the nair, and that's it. What can Luna do here? Oh, wow, that downer doesn't hit, and Radish gets a quick punish.
Jump there, opening up Radish. Radish thought Luna was going to try to go in towards the center of the stage and ended up not catching him with that recovery.
Oh man, and now Luna dashing forward, dashing back down again. That's the second time at the dare. Luna's like going for the spacing on the down air to where he doesn't get the landed animation.
Yeah.
And Radish is spacing right outside of where the guitar blades would hit, and he's punishing him every single time for it. And now he's a side air away from winning game number one. Oh, but Luna, if he gets the deal recovery there. Oh, he headlights the wrong way! He drops the sidelight Sair? That's just a true combo. That doesn't.
No, he went for a recovery. That's why the instant came out.
Is that why that happened?
Yeah,
no.
That's why the instant came out. He misinput the dash jump.
Oh, he misses the Sair there as well. Now it's a one-hit game either way.
I'm not confident that Luna could KO right now. To keep it a stack, I'm not sure it would work.
No, dealer recovery
Right?
absolutely
Okay,
works it, right? Yes, there it is. He
I was saying like
win.
a raw Sair probably wouldn't have done
I
it.
think that you misunderstood what I was talking about. Radish went for orb sidelight side air.
Yeah.
That's true no matter what.
Yeah.
But he dropped it.
Yeah.
Because he dodged in.
That's what I'm saying. Because you were saying that they were both one hit away.
Yeah, but I guess what I was trying to say is that if Radish hit that sidelight side air, he won the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
agree with that.
Okay. I misunderstood what you were saying.
Okay.
Because that was like definitely Radish's blunder there, and then Luna was able to bring that back with a dealer recovery. That was a really close game. I mean, when it gets, I love saying that Orb's hard because sidelight side air is hard, but it's. Look, even Radish drops it. Okay.
Yeah. Even Radish drops it.
And he's the best Orb player. All right.
I think
Radish
a lot
hard.
of drops are happening here, though. This is a stage is making a lot of people sweat in ways that I don't think they were ready for.
We saw the Fozy double D-Light recovery drop, right, too. This is a thing where it's like, oh, man, I'm so used to just saying that the game's over in regards to these openers here. And we're seeing those rare moments where they're giving their opponents opportunities to come back and get the win. And that's what happened there. That was an incredibly close game, one that Luna barely won. And it was Radish's game to lose.
And I think that really just kind of magnifies the consistency that Neese was bringing with his downlight recoveries. Because the fact that he's been so consistent when so many other players are dropping those things, definitely impressive. As Luna gets the downlight recovery himself, he's not dropping those.
Yeah, Luna has been very consistent with this as well. I would say if Luna was dropping anything, it was just kind of like how he's choosing to play the neutral game. But I mean, that's not really dropping something. That's just how you're playing. D-Light dash jump down air.
I like that.
D-Light dash jump dare is one of my favorite things to do on blasters, and especially if you get the right reads. You could do like D-Light dash jump dare, gravity cancel D-Light side air.
Love
There's
that one.
so many follow-ups that you can get off of that if you catch your opponent sleeping on that follow-up. And Luna still has done a ton of damage, and that Sair's not going to be enough to knock him out. Okay, that down sig hitting him mid-side sig. If that was timed any differently, if Radish was just a little more greedy, I think the side sig would have hit him in the air. Yeah, that was a clutch moment.
A really good play from Radish. You know, he's been a lot better about kind of doing that down sig on a little bit more of a reaction. Like, it's a lot harder to react to when he's just throwing it out quick instead of charging it up and saying, I'm going to try to catch your timing.
Instead of what it used to be, which was like my opponent's off stage. There's a 60% chance that will down sig. And it just happens randomly. Yeah, that was really well placed. And now it's an even game, 2-2. Nair catches them in the air, tries to go for a dodge and move with a recovery. Another recovery comes through, and both of them are swimming back to the stage, get their jumps back. Luna gets hit by sidelight side air, but he's going to take a few more of those to get the knockout. Side sig, no down sigs here. Luna too close to the stage to feel safe for it, but now a down sig could come through.
Oh, and that hits
he
two!
He dodges into it. That's 2 down sig knockouts off the right side of the stage. And I honestly didn't think that was like, I was like ready for it to like happen, but not for it to hit.
I was ready for Radish to throw it out, but I thought Luna was going to dodge the correct direction. Just didn't quite work out. Downlight recovery though. He cleans up the stock. Final stocks here.
Yeah. And so far, the only thing that has been working against Luna for these early knockouts are those down sigs from Radish's orb. That was almost a triple wake-up punish there from Luna. Oh, those jump and place fastballs are so scary after the end lights. You see Luna just waiting for something to react to.
Radish not really giving him too much there.
Oh, ground pound.
Off stage.
That was wild.
Okay.
Luna goes off stage to fight him even more. Weapon throw, dive kick. Yeah, Radish goes over to the gauntlets to starve him. Ooh, that nair was perfect. I can't believe it didn't hit.
All right, Luna on the blasters needs a little more here. Goes for the recovery, and it will KO. Luna's up 2-0, but there was a hot moment there where Radish looked like he was going to win it.
Yeah, that's 3 downlight dash jump recoveries for the knockout in a single game, right? Like if we had the highlight reel there, it would just be D-light dash jump recovery.
Is that hat for me? Can I have that hat? That's a rubber
Is that
duck.
a duck?
Yeah, that's adorable.
Yeah, that hat
Where
is
did you
for
get
you.
that hat?
Where did he get it?
I need that hat.
You'll ask him afterwards. It's fine. He's
I'm going to forget him.
You're going to forget? What? No,
I
you're not.
have the memory of a goldfish.
He won't forget.
Okay, yeah.
He's got the memory of the rubber duck.
Which, of course, the most notable memory.
100 years long lasting, right? Here we are in game 3. Okay, that was.
I was like, are they button checking?
No,
What is
he
happening?
just headlighted both ways. So this is very stressful for Radish to be in this position, right? We talked about how Luna is kind of his demon in all brackets.
Yeah.
The few tournaments that I think Radish has won, he managed to dodge Luna because Luna got beaten by somebody else. And in this case, right, the only knockouts that he got in the last game was off of those down tigs, which I'm absolutely certain Luna can play around a little bit better here this time around. So let's see if Radish can bring this to a game 4, because Luna has clutched many games now against Radish where he has the lead and Radish can't close.
Downlight, side air, Radish on the outside here, goes high. Luna getting some more damage.
Oh,
GC side light to catch the movement as he goes
and then he
further.
chase dodges afterwards. It could have gotten him with a recovery there, and Luna showing the confidence there with the movement. Falling Sarah will knock him out, but he nods and he goes, all right, I know what to do. Catch that downlight, get the recovery, back to an even game, and this time I'll have the lead. Okay, that haymaker is not a downlight recovery, Luna. You're taking some damage for that one.
And he's taking a lot of damage trying to finish this off. The slap down, the weapon toss. Clean up the stocks. This time it wasn't a downlight recovery. And he's not immediately swapping weapons, still manages to deny from Radish.
All right, Luna evens things up, gets one nair, and that's all that's going to come from that. Side air, doesn't get the second side air. Luna falls down to nair, edge guard opportunity, goes in. No, recovery from Radish, allows him to get back to stage, and the orb dares start coming through. Very back and forth for both players, and these end lights are starting to work out better and better for Radish, but the gravity cancel down tick cuts right through Radish's defense, and they go back to center stage. And Luna now running away with a massive streak. Gravity cancel sidelight, weapon throw. Doesn't get the pickup, but he goes and does it. He misses the downlight downlight ground pound, and that down sig almost connects.
Yo, but more importantly, didn't get caught by that down sig. That almost connected. He's got the blasters, doesn't hit the downlight though. Radish still alive on the second stock, and that means there's an opportunity here. The dare.
He has a recovery?
Downlight ground pound.
Oh, Radish, just several moments there where he was like expecting Luna to go for the D-like ground pound, I think earlier than Luna was going for, and Luna patiently waited out for Radish to use every single option before finishing up that stock. It was unusual for me to see Radish go off stage with gravity cancel sidelight. I'm like, just like stay on stage and down stage. It was working so well, but Radish thinking that he had to go for that risk, and now Luna has him off stage. Oh, that's scary.
Sidelight side air could bring Radish back into this game. Number 3, down air is going to put him off stage. The weapon toss. Ouch. Catching him out. Can he take this to game 4?
Unarmed recovering orb as a weapon throw looks like the most painful thing. It is just like a giant. It might as well be a bowling ball hitting your head there. That is just terrible.
I mean, it is a magic orb. Like, we don't know the mass of that object.
Right. Well, it could have the mass of a neutron star.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, that could be some insane mass behind that.
Yeah, Petra could just be really strong.
She does have a lot of strength.
Yeah, it's true. But he's far behind here against Lucian, who's also deceptively tanky, despite being. And now that sidelight comes through here. Let's get that down air. Down air, side air. This could be it, Duke. This could be the 3-0.
Looking for the sidelight. Hits the down air, and Luna 3-0's Radish. The bracket demon continues on. He's going into the top 8, and he's done for today.
You know, I think Radish's story is similar to Neese's with mine at this point, where it's like he's so good and could potentially win any bracket as long as he avoids who is the best in NA at singles right now, which is Luna, who can lose to other players, but I don't think Luna ever loses to Radish. And Neese has the same problem, but with Godly. And I look at both of those players, I'm like, I want to see that first crushing set victory that they can get over that, but it's just so tough. Luna's so darn good against Orb. And even in the games where Radish, I feel like, is doing everything right, has the game plan down perfectly, Luna just goes, you know what, if I just play a little bit better and I hit downlight, I win the game. And he gets that 3-0, despite Radish opening up games 1 and 2 with a really solid lead.
It is interesting, like, watching the player cam of Luna, because, like, he seems like he is still pained when he, like, loses a stock to Radish. Like, it seems like he just has insane expectations of himself, where he's just like, I could have played that better. I could have played that edge guard. I could avoid that down sig. I could have done so many different things better. Even though he's like running away with a 3-0 over Radish, like he's still like beating himself up over those little things.
Yeah, so Remy, now that we're at the end of that 3-0, and it's actually one of the few matchups of the day where we didn't really get to talk about what's going to be the counter pick. What are your thoughts on the developments of that match as we got through it?
I didn't think there was going to be a counter pick. I thought that Radish was going to stick on the Petra, and Luna was really just not going to get off this Lucian unless he was down and maybe he had that Mordex or maybe that Teros he lied to us all about. But
quick note,
we still got another day.
On the damage differential there between the orb and the gauntlet.
Zero on the orb.
It did 0 on the gauntlet.
Now we talked about how those kills were going to go, and I did try to keep track for us. Besides downlight recoveries, all of Luna's knockouts were edge guards, right? Because and that's what I want to talk about. I said earlier that with the kill threat that these characters have, you're going to see a lot of Luna going for the offstage knockouts because the onstage ones are just going to take too long to get. That's an offstage knockout. And for Radish here, it's just going to be kind of the same story of very late knockouts or with this orb down sig, right? We're going to see another one with the orb down sig when he goes for that side stick interaction, but for the most part, you see how red he had to get Luna. And it still wasn't sending him far enough, right?
Another offstage interaction
here for him to get that knockout early. On stage, that's still taking a long time for Lucian to get that play there. This one is going to be another edge guard kind of later. As you can see, he comes back and he still gets edge guarded by Luna. It's not that easy to get these knockouts on horizontal levels or vertical levels without downlight recovery. Same for both of them, because Luna really realized, all right, what does orb have potential to take me out with? It's the recovery if I'm really damaged. It's the sidelight stare if I'm really damaged. If I'm watching out for those two, I can extend this stock as long as I want. And that's why I talked about the maps as well, because you, as a player, you have to realize that as you're sitting down, okay, what is my strong suits, right? What can I do to end these stocks as quick as possible? I'm surprised we're not seeing Radish force a Brawlhaven. We're not seeing him force an Enigma, these smaller area maps, because Lucian will still have to find those hard edge guards, those hard KOs off the top. Meanwhile, your weapons are good at these things. You're good at taking people off the sides, and you need to force that early.
Yeah, that's actually really great points that I didn't really think about, which was that Luna was securing the games and keeping them in his favor because he was so good at the edge guards. And in fact, you remove that from Luna's play, and it's a two-stock every time in Radish's favor, I feel like. So
Radish is just building up damage arguably faster. Luna can get these confirms because Radish can, and that's it.
Okay, well, of course, we've still got some more sets to go today. We've still got to figure out who else is going to be joining Luna in that bottom side of top 8. But before we do that, we're going to be taking another short little break. So we will see y'all in a little bit. We'll be right back.
I know I should grow up, but I don't wanna get older. It's underrated to be young and free, yeah. Tomorrow may never come, old days I'm running from. Yeah, I should be saving, but I'm spending it all. Yeah, I want that money, I want that money. So give me that money, I wanna spend that money. Just give me that Friday feeling. If you feel like the weekend, I ain't dead and sleeping now. I don't wanna grow up. I don't wanna grow up. It's taking over me. Feel like I could fly away. Oh, I've been waiting so alive. Yeah.
Dallas continues on. We've got one more set to go to determine who's going to be joining everyone else in the top 8 of things. It's going to be the battle between Godly and Meg D. How you feeling?
And I feel like I don't know what to expect from Godly after the last 2 sets that I've watched with him. And now that Remy told me what Godly said to him afterwards, where I'm just kind of like, all right, he could just be playing.
Is he just going to mirror match? He's going to mirror match everything that they do.
Do you mirror match Meg D?
I mean, our guy's on his phone right now. He's going to random dice roll the pick for this.
Oh, is that what it is? Like you just go with the all legends on the ledge. Okay, what is it going to be? No, he might play Val against Meg D's Val.
Have we been seeing Meg D mainly on the Val?
That's what
it's like Val or Suri, right?
Yeah,
like those are like the 2 picks for him.
I remember Meg D playing a little bit of Val. I have not watched Meg D today, so I don't actually know what he's been playing today. What is your recollection of what he's been picking?
I'm seeing this Val hover here, and it's been right for the day for the most part, so we might see just the Val
but
and
the Asuri is a possibility.
Yeah, that's definitely just like the 2 options.
Sword and then something.
Sometimes he does go into the gauntlets. I don't think we'll see like a Petra or anything. I think it's going to be the Val, the Asuri. As for Godly, that's a wild card. We have no idea what's about to get locked in here, and it's going to be very interesting. So
yeah, it doesn't exactly have the EU report that he does with Acno.
What's their head-to-head looking like?
I don't. Looks like it's 0-0 right there.
Okay,
That's what
so
it says.
It's gonna be a first one.
So,
yeah, you don't even have like a player matchup. We know that Meg D likes that slow and collected playstyle, and Godly will do anything.
Experience the Meg D experience.
all you have to do is watch it to experience.
I
well,
guess
it's one thing being in a game against him. It's another thing watching a game of him.
It's been a bit.
I definitely think Duke has a point there, and Meg D could catch him off guard here.
Yeah, and I mean Godly's already been caught off guard once by Boomie's Thea. I don't think Meg D's got that wow factor in how he plays that will really catch him off guard, and Godly's kind of like, been raised on playing in EU, where I feel like there's a lot more players that have had that play style that Meg D brings out. But something that Meg D has developed, I think, as he's gotten better at 2s, is the ability to take his phenomenal neutral game and turn it into actual edge guards, which he wasn't doing the year prior. And that's what I think has made him in such a consistent top 8 monster when it comes to North American tournaments. And I wonder how that's going to shape up against Godly. I really don't know.
I think Godly's character pick here is going to determine a lot for it. I think Godly's first lock in here is going to be a big factor of how this set goes forward, because if he doesn't like lock in something that we're used to seeing, right? It might be a surprise, because he's really good at gauntlet edges, right? And if we see that Val come out and it's just met with that Mordex, I think Godly could just have the potential to take it for himself. So
I mean, he's got so many gauntlet characters too. Could be the Petra, could be the Rayman, right?
Yeah.
From Godly as well. Like he's got so many different options.
We talk about how these are Acno's characters and it's a troll pick for him to like go into it in the mirror, but Godly has a wide array of characters he can actually play.
Yeah.
And Meg D has 2 we're expecting to see.
Godly is the opposite persuasion of a player like Impala, where if you asked Impala on like, how do you get very good at the game? You pick one legend and you master it. But then you've got people like Godly or Boomie who are playing to understand fundamentally how every single character and weapon works in the game. And you're right. It makes it to a point where it's like, okay, how is Godly going to be playing this matchup? We're about to find out in just a little bit.
Now, the question is, what is his mental at? And it looks like it's at Diamond Head for game number 1 at the very least. So he will have that gauntlet mirror match that Remy was referring to.
And I wanted to mention the Caspian a little bit, but it was like a tournament that Godly brought it out. where I think Caspian was getting pretty favored just because of that signature kit of his. Now going against Meg D here on Demon Island for the Gauntlet Ditto. Yeah, I'm curious to see how much Remy's analysis on the Gauntlet Ditto lives up here. I'm inclined to believe that it'll be okay. It's going to be such an interesting matchup because I don't think Godly's quite faced a player like Meg D before. Let's find out.
This one off. Looks like a slight lead to Meg D. Just a little bit more damage onto Godly's stock here. He's got the sword in hand now. He's trying to go for a little bit of juggling here. He's going to need a lot more if he wants to look for that sword recovery KO.
Oh, yeah. Although, honestly, you hit 8 sword recoveries in a row and they're going to KO. That's the 4th one. There's neutral light comes through, D-Light recovery. I think that would just do it at this point. No dodge, but a quick side air manages to make him back onto the stage. Meg D's done so great at getting these landings here, and if Godly lands again, doesn't even get a chance. That's such a classic from Meg D on Demon Island. It's why he loves going here. Val side stick, if you use it to where you don't land on the stage, you get the spiking hitbox instead of the one that travels you further, and he uses that to great effect to cover the entire wall here on Demon Island, and Godly goes down a stock and game number 1.
Yeah, it's such a wild sig because you've got 3 options, right? You do it on the stage, goes pure horizontal. Do it off the stage, goes vertical down, but if you go into the wall, you'll go vertically up alongside it. So you got a lot of options there with it.
Now Meg D goes over that sword. Godly's still holding onto the gauntlets. And we were talking a lot about the Gauntlet Ditto, right? And I don't think Meg D's done any damage with the gauntlets, to be honest. It's been all the sword here coming out from him, and Godly having a lot of difficulty fighting against it. Side air bounces Meg D up the side of the stage, uses that recovery to get back on, goes right around Godly, picks up the sword instead of swapping to the new weapon there, and I think that was a mistake. He tried it again, and that time Godly was like, not this time. Gets close enough to get the recovery, and he evens it up 2-2.
But Meg D still maintaining this lead that he's built on top of Godly. There's the weapon spawn. Godly gonna deny. Meg D gonna take his time here. You're not seeing him over-aggress. He's just gonna get a hit here and there, put him in hit stun, pick up his weapon.
Oh, nice pummel in the side light. Oh, gets the nair as he follows Meg D all the way into the sky. Dodges back, waits for the dodge himself, but Meg D lands with a dare nair, side air. Can Godly make it back with the gauntlet momentum? D-Light side air again. Love that choice. Godly never landed on the stage.
Yeah, you saw the sweat beads.
D-Light recovery would not have knocked down on its own, so you use that to be able to get him all the way off the right side, and now Meg D's a stock away from bringing Godly down a game here in this elimination match.
Yeah, but he's getting some good damage in. He's got Meg D hurting. Nice dodge down to avoid that end-sig.
Yeah, I think Godly covered just about everything except for the dodge down. And then Meg D manages to make it back. He's so good at recovering.
But the weapon denial from Godly. Meg D trying to get some extra credit here. Good dodge away to avoid that recovery off that dare bounce.
Yeah, Godly's got to be careful about getting into the air. I think that the second Meg D pops him up, nicely done, gets the recovery. The second that Meg D pops him up, it was going to be like nair after nair, recovery after recovery. Suddenly Godly's in orange and the match looks unsurmountable. Now Godly's made it dead even and Meg D's had a lead for the majority of the game. And here's the matchup that we haven't seen much from Meg D, and that's him on the gauntlets.
Sideline. Not able to get that dodge read onto Meg D. Meg D throws away those gauntlets. Definitely a sword player at heart.
Yeah, sword comes right back, and Godly not really weapon starving or pressuring the weapon spawns enough to make Meg D feel like he can't have his weapon of choice. So the nair comes through, falling down air. Meg D goes right back to center stage, and Godly trying to break in. There's a nice side light, D-Light, but that's all he gets. Meg D in orange. I think side sig could do it after one more hit. Either weapon. Oh, he goes for it. He gets punished.
Neutral light coming out from Meg D, keeping this damage onto Godly. Godly comes back in. Side sig connects. Godly's going to get launched. He's got a lot of horizontal movement here. He can get back up safely. Yeah, and Meg D tried to cover high, but Godly went for the wall.
He's not going to switch the weapons here. Let's see if he goes for the D-Light recovery right afterwards. I don't think it's going to knock out just yet, and Godly putting up the side sig himself. Waiting for that first attack. Meg D and Godly are both looking for their one-hit knockout. There's that side sig just perfectly spaced away. The side air hits, and that's enough knockback to get Godly up the right side of the stage. Godly dashing forward a little bit too far, and Meg D takes game number 1. And Duke, this is what I was talking about with the playstyle that Meg D provides. I am seeing Godly posture on the side of the stage, going, what the heck do I do to get in? And not finding the answer in time. I mean, he brought the game down to a close situation, but Meg D was in the lead the entire time that game won.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that is tough is because there aren't that many people who play like Meg D. You can see like one-to-one that people will be like, oh yeah, their games go longer or they're a little bit slower play style. But the way that Meg D can kind of like B-hop in the air just outside of your range is something that he brings that not a lot of other people are hitting quite right.
Right, and I also think that Meg D's got such a sword-focused playstyle that's kind of gone to the wayside as we've gotten further and further into the Brawlhalla competitive landscape.
So many other weapons have come out.
That it's weird to say the sword's a little unfamiliar. I feel like a lot of players have sword as like a pocket pick or like an extra weapon to get those knockouts, but to primary sword the entire way through to where you won't even bother touching the gauntlets in the matchup is a decision only Meg D really makes. And we're back to Demon Island here in game number 2. Let's see if Godly can make the adaptation to get the win this time around.
Some good hits coming out from Godly. I like that he got that second nair there, but unfortunately he was sweat beating, so couldn't keep that pressure going. Now we're seeing Meg D swap over to the gauntlets here.
Yeah, Gauntlet Ditto. Might not last very long. Meg D could probably just be putting up pressure until the weapon spawn comes through. Let's see what happens. One-sider goes through. If Meg D gets enough distance, he might do like a dash jump weapon throw attack. Let's find out. 2 dares in a row. That's crazy.
Another weapon toss. Meg D swaps, and Godly not able to deny the weapon pickup. Sword in hand, not quite in that KO %, but he gets his weapon denial, and he gets his sword back.
Primes the next sword as well. So it's going to be Meg D on the sword the entire time through here. Accidental, I think that had to have been an accidental direction on that weapon throw there.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be an up toss for sure.
But that's okay. Gets a new sword. D-Light side airs. Going to wait for the next spawn to come through. He's going to prime his next sword by tossing those gauntlets away. Ooh. Never mind. Godly with the interrupt. Gets the underarm nair. Gets the recovery. And now Meg D put onto the gauntlets here on stock number 2. And I don't think he cares. He is getting so many hits. What is going on here?
5 hits coming out. There's a 6th.
Yeah, that's amazing. Meg D avoiding the recovery here. Godly was having more mileage unarmed. That's another recovery coming from recovery, and Godly taking out the top. Meg D decimates Godly on the gauntlets, and that whole narrative of his spinning about the sword is just out the window. Meg D's destroying him on Val.
This is the same conversation we have when we talk about Radish. We're all like, oh yeah, Radish is orb, blah, blah, blah. But like, he also has great gauntlets. Meg D also has great gauntlets.
Yeah, it's just fantastic what he just did there. Now Godly on the back foot. I stand by this. I haven't had anything to change my mind, unlike the Neese Rax game today. You pick Caspian or Diamond Head in this regard for the powerful signature kit to get the knockouts early. And when that's not happening, I really feel like you're just hamstringing yourself onto 2 weapons that do the same thing. And that's something that I think we're finding in this game number 2 here, where Godly may have to switch off because he hasn't landed a single Caspian signature on Meg D this entire set.
Yeah, I mean, even those N-Sigs, which are like arguably not the one that you're generally looking for as a Caspian player, they still weren't hitting onto Meg D. Those side sig, the one that he threw out didn't work as well. I like these weapon tosses. And
I love whenever Godly plays that game, I'm like, you're playing at Meg D's pace, right? If you do that thing where you're both dash dancing left and right, Meg D's like, that's when he's most comfortable. And with a lead like this, I mean, Meg D's going from a 1-stock to a 2-stock from games 1 to 2. Downlight, sidelight, double sidelight. Doesn't get the triple. He was looking for the 3rd because he knew the recovery wasn't going to do it, and that one will do it. GG. Meg D takes it to game 3 at match point. And it's looking really solid for him.
Yeah, Meg D's, he's looking good. I expect a Godly swap now. I don't think there's a way he sticks with Caspian.
The Caspian, whatever the game plan was with the Caspian's not working, and Meg D's getting more and more comfortable. And every time that I see Godly being willing to play the same song and dance that Meg D likes to play, nobody does it better than him. You cannot, if you decide to play the game at the pace that Meg D sets, you have lost. It's just that he's too good at it. You have to be able to find some way to make him uncomfortable, some way to break up the way that he controls center stage. Maybe get off Demon Island if possible, because at this point, it's just so much in his favor that Godly's going to go down 3-0 at this rate.
Oh my goodness. Meg D, he's chilling. He's yawning. He's like, dude, I'm ready to finish this and go to bed.
I haven't seen Meg D had to bring out any secrets after that game number 2. He's just kind of like, I'm kind of just playing how I would always play. It was like, it reminds me of that match we watched earlier today. I think it was also a Godly match where you're like, this is just the rank queue for him. Yeah. Right? And that's the tables have turned in this case between these 2 players. I wonder what Godly is about to lock in here, because if he's out here, he's out at 9th.
Yeah.
Right before top 8 on Sunday. And it's
a Hattori. Okay, we've been saying Spear's been looking good against certain matchups, right? We were talking about how his Wushang worked well against Boomie's Thea. Yeah. So maybe that's kind of what he wants, is he wants to sword mirror a little bit and then have that spear.
I think you're exactly on the money there, and I think that despite the case being strong that Godly wins Gauntlet Dittos, it turns out that he doesn't win them against Meg D.
Not against Meg D.
And so now he's bringing out the spear, which he had so much, and he wants to have that sword Ditto there to be able to match how Meg D's playing. And maybe the movement speed, right? When I was saying that you're playing Meg D's game, it's oftentimes playing at the pace that he's playing at, and so you get a high-speed legend that allows you to maneuver a little bit quicker in ways that you couldn't do when you were playing on Diamond Head, and maybe that'll help out quite a big deal. So let's find out here. As Godly's back's against the wall, he has to get a reverse 3-0 to stay in the tournament here, and Meg D's 1 game away from getting into top 8 over Godly.
Neutral light thrown out from Godly. Trying to deny the weapon pickup. Meg D over to the gauntlets, but this is not that bad for him as Godly does get the downlight recovery, so maybe it is a little bad for Meg D.
Yeah, and showing off a little bit of the movement speed there on the platform, as we are off of Demon Island as well, right? So there's 2 adjustments that are coming through here. We've got ourselves a stage where Godly could actually duck a Val side stick on the wall, and we've got a platform from Godly to escape to that he's been using his movement on quite well. And these pogos from Meg D are really breaking up the strategy that Meg D has over holding that center stage.
Ooh, but the side stick catching the movement of Godly there. He's got his pick of weapons, likely just priming the sword here and delaying that weapon spawn. And yeah, he goes for it a little bit faster because we talked about how last time Godly was able to get that pressure onto Meg D.
Yeah, he did like a fully charged weapon throw upwards, and he did not get the desired weapon spawn that he'd like. It didn't end up being too painful for him, but oh man, 3 nairs, 4 nairs. He's so good at his juggle state.
Yeah.
Even with the platform in the way. 4 nairs, recovery, tries to go for the 5th. Godly already in orange, neutralizes him off the side of the stage, gets hit by the side air. Meg D and Godly both dash jumping around each other, but so far Meg D's bringing this game back into his favor.
He's up on this soft platform. You see him jump up, doesn't want to risk getting caught by the downlights from Godly. Godly with the Sair, has more horizontal range here. Weapon toss misses. Meg D comes up, goes so high, but Godly! What was that?
I think the platform really messed up his movement there. I think he ended up canceling it onto that platform right there for the downlight and didn't get what he needed afterwards. So Meg D's got a second chance at life here. Let's see if he can take the lead. Both players on either side. This is Meg D's game. I've never seen him lose these scraps, but guess what? I just did. That recovery comes through, and Meg D with a poorly spaced move means that he's on his last stock here in game 3.
Just that slight lead for Godly. Meg D, can he close this out, or will Godly bring this one back? Gauntlet pickup. Doesn't punish that whiffed ground pound from Godly.
Oh, falling side air as well. Meg D dashes over to the other side of the stage. Godly goes in for that side air himself. Weapon throw. Meg D can't get the finisher there, and that extra bit of credit that Godly just got could make or break the difference between going to a game 4. Nice backswing on the nair.
High recovery. Okay. Last stocks here.
Is this
Not
enough damage?
Too much. No, I think this is not a guaranteed win for Godly.
Yeah, I think Godly would have liked to have a little bit more. Once Meg D starts
got the
hitting those
spear.
nairs, Meg D doesn't really drop it, right? Down air. Another nair can come through there, tries to get the recovery. Oh, and Godly, every time Godly takes to the sky, I feel like Meg D's on the verge of being able to hit him 5 more times.
Who dodges through that side stick?
Huge dodge.
Sword v sword. Going for juggles of his own. Meg D not able to find a response to it.
Yeah, I guess he hoped there were a jump there. Down air recovery, could start the juggle. Doesn't get the second recovery. Godly goes up to match him. And Godly's pressure is really breaking through here. Meg D finds 1 recovery, but he still needs way more damage than this. And Godly, if he gets a downlight down air, downlight side air, that's enough damage to where he can get Meg D, but Meg D starts juggling him.
Getting hits.
Ooh, dare, nair, Sair.
He's getting
Endlight.
hits.
Low on jumps.
Still touches down.
Oh, he
Both
pivots,
in the red.
He pivots the end light. He doesn't hit it. All right, this is last hit. Last stop.
Oh, the Sair. That's going to disarm.
Oh, this is disarm. Switch to the stage. Okay. Oh, can he do it, dude?
Still has the sword. Godly, where's the weapon spawn? It's on the left side. Meg D can't cover. It's a spear in hand. The side stick connects, and Godly takes it to game 4.
Oh, and that's the first time that we've seen him use that side stick, and that damage lead at the very end was decided by that side stick. That was so close, and Godly was really close to being 3-0 there by Meg D, and the Hattori pick did make it so that he could eke out a win. But I wouldn't say that it suddenly became a lot easier for him.
No, I do like what you talked about with that speed specifically for the Hattori, because he is able to match the movement of Meg D a little bit better. Looks like he wants a slightly different map as we go over to Apocalypse. Still has that single moving platform, but it's not going to have that pillar underneath. It's going to have slightly different KO box.
Right. I don't think that they've been playing in a way where they've had to escape underneath the stage very often. I think it was just a matter of the stages that they have taken out. If Meg D's like, fine, if we have to go to a platform map, I'd rather go to Apocalypse than Fortress of Lions. But here we are. Godly still sticking with the Hattori now. He's avoided that 3-0 and is on his way to a reverse 3-0, but Meg D's got a very strong start here in game 4.
Yeah, Meg D getting that lead. Double downlight!
Double D-light side air, that's a statement.
What year is it?
This is making me think of Egg Soup back in 2016, right? That's like
you see that on Spear, you don't see that on Sword anymore.
I'm ready for the platform cancels to get the triple down light. Why not? I mean,
switch to Hammer and do a double down light. Like what?
Yeah, that was crazy. He takes the lead after that one. Golly trying to fight him unarmed, and he's succeeding. D-Light, ground pound. D-Light, ground pound.
One more.
For the third, goes for just the raw ground pound, and Meg D escapes. And as cool as those moves are, Meg D's still not in red. Yeah. Like it was like it would have been great if he got the knockout there, and he did get a lot of damage, but he's still struggling. And when Meg D gets that juggle stay going on, that is rough for Godly.
It was good threat, but not great damage, and Meg D has plenty of opportunities to bring this one further into his lead. Godly with a nice recovery there. Backing away, not able to get that second recovery.
Yeah, Godly dashing forward, dashing back, goes to the
punish.
Dare connects, and Meg D dashes forward with that recovery, weapon throw, goes for the recovery once again. Let's see what Godly can do. He doesn't get that down, like gets the recovery. He dropped the strong hit.
That's like no damage.
And I think that would have knocked out. Honestly, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If double nair would have, the recovery would have as well. Godly makes up for it and doesn't take too much damage for it as well. He's been on that second stock for a good minute now.
Yeah.
And he's been doing a great job maneuvering around Meg D.
Meg D had so much potential for a big lead, but Godly did a great job making sure that Meg D didn't get too much damage out as he cleaned up that first stock. Meg D's back in here. Here's those gauntlets. Nair. No dodge.
Waits it out. Nair lands. And that's like the rare chance that you see.
Whoa!
Oh no.
Not like this.
Godly wipes the sweat off his brow. He realizes what just happened.
He just gave away a stock on the elimination side of the bracket, man.
And onto the elimination stock too, right? You got to chew through a whole Meg D stock that's fresh, and then another one on one stock. Not very many people can do that. Can Godly do it? Neutral light comes through. Dash jump side air. Can he get even more? Side light goes to the same Sayer, but Meg D just stays on the ground that time.
Dare, double dare, doesn't get the recovery. Meg D's got a recovery of his own. Trades are not in Godly's favor.
Oh man, and Godly gets that recovery. Double recovery comes through, doesn't quite find it. Didn't reset to the platform to get the strong hit to return. Weapon throw doesn't get caught on Meg D, and he's just waiting for the weapon spawn here. Now Godly could do his first weapon start for the while. No, he tries to dare him, and Meg D gets right past him.
That neutral light, the sidelight recovery. Meg D's taking this one. He's about to put it in the bank. He's just got to get one more read, and Godly manages to avoid the second sidelight.
Godly could get the stock here with a D-light recovery, but then he's got a whole other stock to get through. That stuck recovery. Meg D gets the gravity cancel end light, and Godly's off the right side of the stage. Meg D knocks out one of Europe's best players in 1v1s and gets into top 8 here at DreamHack Dallas.
Meg D takes out Godly. Godly was the favorite for EU, but now I think Neese might be the favorite as he's still sitting in the top 8 winner side.
And that narrative, I didn't think about it, right? Where it was like Neese could win any tournament, but as long as Godly's in the way, he can do it. Well, guess what? Godly's out of the picture.
He's not in the way anymore.
Right? That's crazy, actually. Wow. Yeah, that's Neese. Okay. All right, Remy, before we start worrying about projections in the top 8, let's talk about what happened here with Meg D and Godly, because we had talked about Gauntlet Dittos maybe going in Godly's favor, but then Meg D just completely flipped the script.
Yeah, as always with Meg D, he just had that unbreakable neutral game, that wall he sets up, and he's the only one that can break that wall. We did see some times where he'd be the one aggressing forward onto Godly because Godly just wouldn't be ready for it, and you did point out that it is a 0-0 head-to-head matchup, so it is his first time here. We're going to have some clips here from Meg D playing that sword, which is honestly, I guess you just have to say he's the best sword player at this point because he's just looking so consistent at it. No matter who gets in his way, he's able to tear through them with that sword. And you can just see the amount of damage he puts out there, 354 to 189 in the sword dittos. He was getting the better end of the juggles. He was getting the better end of the recovery trades. And he just looked really good doing it into Godly there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty great. When I was thinking about how, like, oh, well, if Godly's never fought Meg D before, you don't know what that experience is like. And we're going to be seeing in these clips that you picked, Remy, just what that's like.
Yeah, Godly, you already know the side stick is going to come out when someone's at the edge there. That's just the basic Val game plan. We did see them get off Demon Island, so he had a better chance of avoiding it, but at the end of it all, it didn't end up making too big of a difference. Sure, he got one game off, but in interactions like this where you're getting the dare, the nair into the side air, and then watch this, he even covers the edge of the dodge up. He's just always going to be coming out on top because he's getting 5 hits every single time you interact with him. right? We talk about how Meg D likes that slow gameplay, but when you give him the chance to play with you, you're just like, you're eating a bunch of hits back to back. There it is again with the gauntlets, multiple hits in one interaction, right? He's trying to speed these games up for us, honestly. So seeing how good he's doing in these interactions, right? Get the double read, he drops it there, but he instantly goes back forward. Look at that aggression. He gets the dodge bait with the downlight, and then he still moves forward with the sidelight. The double downlight here is another key thing he's doing on the sword. He's getting multiple hits per interaction. He's doing a really good job of it too, and his punishes are always on point. That's another thing with Meg D. If you're wasting your dodge against him, it's not spear, but he is going to get multiple hits for it. And yeah, like I mentioned with that aggression, as soon as Garly gets any footing on this stage, Meg D is right back at him, pushing him forward, pushing him off stage and saying, you know what, I own this territory. I'm not even going to let you touch the wall.
Yeah, I like what you mentioned about his punishes, right? Because they're so consistent and they're so based around the light attacks of his kits, with the exception of like the sword side signature, that even though he may have to go for 5 or 6 more of them than say somebody who is trying to go for that like Caspian side 6 style read, he's guaranteed going to get the punishes, and that's why he's terrifying.
You don't need signatures if you KO with all your light attacks hitting over and over and over again, right? So
that's what's
sure,
nice
sure
about
you'll get
sword.
it earlier, but he's making it work the way he wants it.
Well, of course, you saw our matches. These were the final 4 sets of today. We saw Boomie versus Snowy go to Game 5, Godly versus Acno on the elimination side of things, and then we saw Luna 3-0ing Radish, and then we saw Meg D 3-1 Godly to close out today's sets. We've got so much action that we got to watch today, but of course, we've got plenty more happening tomorrow. Sheepy, any sets stand out to you?
You know I was watching that Boomie Snowy one, because that was close. That was close. I was like, oh no. And I was like sitting in the back. I'm like, Matt, just mind empty. No Sparky curse, okay? We don't want that Sparky curse. He can keep denying it backstage, I'm telling you. So I was just like, nope. But I was watching that, and then the last few matches, these are all matches that were determining the people to go into top 8 Champion Sunday tomorrow. I mean, it's like, you know, oh my goodness. That's as much as I can express it. There's no words for it. It's just like that intense, because these are all, we've said this time and time again, literally these are like the top of the top. These are incredible players that have to be duking it out just to make it to Championship Sunday. So, I wanted to actually kind of just preview what it's looking like tomorrow, okay? So let me pull up the top 8 bracket here. Let me talk about winner's side. We got Impala and Neese going at it, and Boomie and Use. Those are your those are your 4 players on the winner side of top 8. So Neese, EU's last hope. Literally, quite literally, EU's the last European player in the singles competition here, and sitting nicely in the winner side too of top 8. Now let's go to the elimination side of things. Now we got Meg D, Luna, and then Snowy, Loris. So South America has 2 representatives, one in the winners, one in elimination side. So hey, looking pretty good there. And then we got NA galore. Like maybe it's looking like NA's taking this championship this time around. I mean, who knows? We were talking about it earlier, like on yesterday. I forget what day it is anymore, but we were talking about yesterday in pre-show how like we don't know what region might take it, but right now NA's looking kind of strong. So, chat, you can let me know your thoughts and let us know how you feel about this. But that's just a preview of tomorrow of top 8. Now, I gotta mention some things to you guys before we close up, have some final thoughts here. Let's talk about some merch, okay? Once again, Mama Sheepy's trying to look out for you guys, okay? Let me talk about this exclusive merch here, because we do got merchandise on site. You can get the new logo and also the legacy stuff too. Both very great, very comfy, very awesome, good drip there. Bundle deals we got going on as well online, and then that customized jersey, it's pretty sweet. It's very comfortable too, and it's just so cool when you can have your own unique gamer tag in the back as well. You can get that online now for a limited time, and then that Dallas tee, that exclusive Brawlhalla Dallas tee. That is available until next Friday, so get your orders in. And then, of course, there's free shipping for those purchasing in the venue this weekend. That's a good deal, okay? So we love bundles, we love discounts. Don't miss out, y'all. Get it while you can. It's limited time, it's exclusive. Let everyone know that you were there or you were watching for DreamHack Dallas. Now, speaking of DreamHacks, let's talk about the next DreamHack, because that's not too far away either, guys. That is in 1 month, July 7th through the 9th in beautiful Valencia, Spain. So Guys, registration is available now. Start.gg/DHVal23. Register now. And if you are registering, please start thinking about your hotel, your flight, maybe your passport, all that stuff. Get it to go in, get it together before it's too late. You don't want to miss it. We got a prize pool of $70,000. It's going to be amazing, incredible, intense competition. And of course, we would love to see you guys there if you can make it. And of course, my EU folks, it's your time. It's your time. Maybe DreamHack Valencia, it's your time. So don't miss out. Register now. Okay, so y'all, I do want to grab some final thoughts before we close out here. I'm going to start with Duke. I'm going to go this way. So, Duke, final thoughts about everything.
I mean, this weekend has been absolutely insane. We kind of said it yesterday. You kind of mentioned it again. Just like how volatile things have been, how much has been unpredictable, how any region can really take it away. And even though we have a lot of NA representation in the 1v1 space, you can't discount Yu's winner of the Spring Royale. You can't discount Neese, who's bringing out the Vrax in a way that nobody else here is playing, and I don't know how many people are ready for. You cannot sleep on those guys, despite the fact that NA has a lot of representatives. Only one person's going to be going home with that gold medal. So it's going to be a wild weekend. Tomorrow's going to be amazing, and if you're at home and you're like, oh no, I got to do something tomorrow, cancel your plans, because tomorrow's going to be amazing.
You heard it here. Cancel your plans.
My predictions were Sandstorm and Paulo Loras. I'm doing pretty okay. If you think Sandstorm is like you can interchange with Boomie, then
Is that how that works?
If I just could just say like they're the same player.
You're pulling a Sparky where he'll just tweet other names under his prediction and be like, hey, I said it.
My prediction is 20 people.
Look, okay,
anyone who's 2v2'd with that person.
But seeing Impala and Loras do this well here is really, really exciting. So I'm just looking forward to Sunday because both singles and doubles, everything is going to be fantastic.
For sure.
We have Neese on that overlap. I'm really excited for him. That Princess Bubblegum was really fun to watch. So I want to see him keep pushing that on to that top 3 spot. I know Taza loved watching it. He was dying. And he is in that doubles.
Yeah.
So it's going to be awesome seeing Neese finally push through. We've been talking about how he's not dominating on these lands, and now he's pushing through on both game modes final day. So he's going to get good night's rest, and I'm going to get to watch him tomorrow. Other than that, we had some really, really good games all throughout. I've been loving the matchups we've had, especially Boomie on that Thea. I know I don't usually root for him, even though he was my ex-teammate, but I'm turning into a Boomie believer this land because Sandstorm has betrayed my trust, all right?
Yeah.
So we're going to be Boomie believers
you
tomorrow.
And me both. You
Boomie
and me both.
and Neese, those are the people I'm looking for, and I really want to see what they do, especially since they're the 2 playing lands, so that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be an incredible day tomorrow for Championship Sunday. But all right, y'all. That's it. 2 days down, 1 to go. So guys, be sure to tune in tomorrow for Championship Sunday. We had 200+ competitors show up to battle for the win, but we officially now have our top 4 for doubles and top 8 for singles. Coverage for the DreamHack Dallas Brawlhalla Open continues tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Time. It will be Fozy Godly versus Luna Snowy first in our top 4 for doubles. So, until then, we leave you with the sights and sounds of Day 2 coverage. Good night, everyone.
I know I should grow up, but I don't wanna get older. It's underrated to be young and free, yeah. Tomorrow may never come, old days I'm running from. Yeah, I should be saving, but I'm spending it all. Yeah, I want that money, I want that money. So give me that money, I wanna spend that money.
From the lands, and Boomie knocks Snowy down into the elimination bracket and qualifies for that winner's side of top 8. What a run from Boomie here at DreamHack.
It's taking over me, feel like I could fly away. Oh, I've been waiting to kiss the sky, yeah. One day I'll get serious, but I will have no regrets. And I might start saving, but it ain't right now. I want that money.
going to stay in the tournament here and make it one game away from getting into top 8 over Godly.
Line thrown out there. We saw Boomie versus Snowy go to game 5, Godly versus Acno on the elimination side of things, and then we saw Luna 3-0 in Radish, and then we saw Meg D 3-1 Godly to close out today's sets. We've got so much action that we got to watch today, but of course we've got plenty more happening tomorrow.